We're here, Saturday, March 8th. So for those of you who follow me, I only do these on Fridays, and I used to do them on Thursdays, but now I have a regular thing going on Thursdays. So until I complete that in October, we're going to be doing them on Fridays. But today we're making an exception because it is officially International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to all of the women of the entire world. This is so amazing. This is the one day that is not religious. It's got nothing to do with, I celebrate this day, we celebrate the other day. We all celebrate International Women's Day today, March 8th, which is the reason I made this exception. My summit is a little bit shorter than typically. So this is where I have a lot of my clients on. This is my client appreciation summit once a year that I do, because I've been working with women for, oh my gosh, like I want to say maybe 40, probably coming up to 45 years, but 40 plus years for sure. I just had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. I am officially 63. So when I tell you it's 40 years, it really is 40 years, probably more than that. So let me just test this one more time. I just need to hear that this is working. Okay. It looks, it is. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for your patience. I know technology is always an issue when you're doing virtual summits because you never know what's going to happen. So the way this summit of mine or all of my summits work are I have, the speakers have paid to be here and the sponsors have paid to be sponsored, and the public gets it for free. So this is one of my ways where I get to, there's Kylie, where I get to, empower the entire world. So this is why we give out the summit to as many places, and I have my speakers share it on their platforms. It'll go up on YouTube. It'll go up onto my special network where I have my podcasts, and it'll stay up there forever. So this is going to be great exposure for not only my speakers, who are absolutely amazing, but also the public. So you can access this for free anytime. So it's literally in everyone's budget. And it's my part in helping the world get more and more empowered and helping to raise the vibration of the earth and everyone. And I just want to, it's not her turn to speak yet because we're waiting for Lori McNeil any minute to come on in, but I want to introduce you to Kylie Leota. She is a newer friend of mine, and she comes to us from down under.
Yes, in a cyclone.
Oh yes, how was the cyclone? So she was expecting a cyclone the other day. Tell us where you come from in Australia.
Brisbane. Yeah, hi everyone. I'm from Brisbane, Australia, and we are still currently in the cyclone. It's been lingering. It's called Tropical Cyclone Alfred. So it's a male cyclone, so it takes its sweet time to come through. So we're still feeling the remnants of it at the moment, and so I'm actually very glad to be here. I'm very glad that I have power. There's lots of people around us that don't, so I'm very grateful to be here. So thank you for having me.
I'm super grateful that you're here too, because we were discussing the potential of what may and may not happen.
Yes, we were.
And would there be? So this is the wonderful thing. So I've been doing these virtual summits. Gosh, honestly, I've been doing the summits for probably about 5 or 6 years now. I have been doing them once a month for about the last year, and what we in March, about a year and a half-ish. Sort of. And I kind of like it. I like doing the summits. It's one of my favorite things. It's always been one of my favorite things to do. That in my books, of course. And in honor of women, I actually did the did this poster instead. Usually I have a different background, but because I do sell the supplements and the skincare, I thought, in honor of beauty and women, I'm gonna have this background for today. So it's so much fun. I actually had the pleasure of, so I do sell this line It is from a company called APL Go, and I just had the pleasure of being on a trip with a bunch of the leaders in Dominican Republic in Punta Cana. So I've never been to Dominican. I live in Canada, as most of you know, and it's actually a lot of fun living here because it's freezing cold right now. So going to Punta Cana is so much fun, and a lot of Canadians uh, go to Punta Cana. Well, not just Punta Cana, anywhere actually in Dominican, so Puerto Plata. And I've actually never been. I've been to like Hawaii like 7 times and I love it. And I'm like, how come I've never been to Dominican and some of these other countries? And I have been obviously to a lot of countries in the Caribbean, but beautiful country, Dominican, and wonderful people. So thank you for letting us all come in and have so much fun. I do. There's someone trying to come in. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do, Kylie, while I'm letting this person in and also
Yeah,
explain?
so hi everyone. My name is Kylie Leota. I'm based in Brisbane, Australia, and I am a coach, leadership executive coach, and I also run workshops, speaker, author, and entrepreneur myself. And I love serving and empowering people to create success, whatever success looks like for them. And I do that through a variety of different ways through speaking, by running one-to-one or group coaching, and running leadership work as well.
Oh, oh, this is Lori. I'm there going, who's Roger? I can't, like, it's only for speakers here.
No, 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 no. It's me. It's me.
And I'm like, and I didn't let you in, and then persistent, and I thought I better tell him that this is only for speakers. And then Lori shows up. There you go.
Nope, I'm here.
Yay! Awesome. So we will hear from Kylie a little bit later on, right after Lori completes her chat. Now, just out of curiosity, Lori, where are you? Because I don't recognize your background, so I know you're not at home.
Nope, I am traveling and I am borrowing a studio.
So which country, which part of the country, or which country are you in? I don't know.
I'm in Dallas.
Oh, Dallas. Very nice. So Lori doesn't live in Dallas, but she does travel a lot. And so the beauty of Lori is that she's on every one of my summits. She opens up every single one. But what's even more fun is that I'm guessing. I never really know where she is. So it's always fun to try to figure out where she's at. So with that, I will let you speak. And let me see. There's the okay. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I have a new computer. My computer got hacked, and so I'm not quite sure how to use this one. So bear with me. So Lori, take it away, Miss Lori A. McNeil.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm not in my studio, so no one is recognizing where I am right now, but I am Lori McNeil, and I am an international business strategist that specializes in media, branding, and marketing. And I am so honored, Marianne, that you have me on the show on International Women's Day. This is just such an honor to be able to open up this event, not only for you at any time, but on this very special annual day celebrating women and everything that women do in the world and everything that they stand for and all the amazing impact that they have. So I am truly honored. Thank you so much, Marianne. Again, happy to open up this event, and let's go ahead and just dive right in. Some of you know who I am, some of you don't. Yes, I do travel the globe. Marianne wasn't kidding. Whenever I come on here, she has no idea where I'm going to be when I come on. And that is one of the things that I love about what I do, is that I travel the globe, getting to help entrepreneurs just like you get from wherever you are to where you want to be every single day. And I absolutely love it. I'm a retired business professor from Oregon State University, where I've designed MBA programs across the globe that are still being used today. I have this beautiful dance of education and business that I have been in for almost 30 years. So it is a very amazing life that I've had the honor of living, and I love being able to pour into entrepreneurs and help them accomplish their business, education, and life goals as well, and everything that I everything that I do. And as we dive into International Business Day today, and we talk about the goddesses that we all are in this world and the amazing magic that we create, I just want to start off by everything starts with mindset, right? So let's just kind of set the tone for the day for just a couple of minutes. And I want to talk to you guys about mindset, because there's all these experiences that we have and that we've had throughout our lives that have got us to where we are. And I think that it's important to always evaluate who we are and what it is that we want to accomplish in the world, and our own limiting beliefs that are allowing us to either get to or not get to where we want to go, and actually dive into what that actually looks like for each one of us. Because I think that it's really easy to get wrapped up in that, comparative analysis, well, what about this woman over here? And what about, this person over here in this industry? And all these things are flooding us every single day. And I think that it's really important to evaluate our true sense of self and what it is that we actually need to do. We, like individual, what do you need to do to get to where you want to go? And sometimes, I'm just going to be honest, sometimes that's literally checking out to check back in. That's stepping back in order to step further, faster, stronger. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that sometimes in our society, we get kind of wrapped up in the, the grind. We hear that a lot in entrepreneurship, like hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. And yes, I do believe that you have to stay consistently persistent in what you do, but that it's okay to actually take a step back and make sure that you are good, that you are whole, that you are healthy, that you are evaluating everything that you need to for you, and not really care too much about what anybody else thinks because they're not living your life. This is about you. So sometimes you really do have to take that step back or take that time out. And this, for some people, it may be, the weekend or a week or something that they wouldn't normally do. Because again, that's about you. Whatever your norm is, what do you need to do something different? I've heard of entrepreneurs taking, 6 months off, so to speak, or, 2 years off, whatever that looks like for you in order to get back on track. And I think that that is really important, because we actually, when we do that deeper dive, there's so many aha moments that come out of that. There's so much reprioritizing that comes out of that. There's so many amazing nuggets that come out of taking a step back and getting rid of the noise, so to speak, of everything that comes at us every day, all the time. So I think that that is a really important permission, if you will, to give yourself, and to know that that is absolutely okay, and to really identify what those limiting beliefs are and what those challenges are and what those mindset, shifts are that need to happen, because it really, truly is different for everyone. And I see so many women all over the world that are like, oh man, but I'm not accomplishing as much as she is, or I don't feel like I'm doing as much as this person over here, or everybody's saying, hurry, 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 hurry. But I'm just me. Like, I'm still showing up at the best of my capacity. Here's the thing. Everybody's different. Obviously, your capacity is going to be different than somebody else. Your skill set's going to be different than somebody else. The way that you pour into the heart, souls, and minds of the people that you're meant to reach is different. The process is going to be different. The speed is going to be different. Everything is going to be different. And that's okay, because you are uniquely qualified to do exactly what it is that you do. Nobody else in this world is. They're not going to do it with the same speed. They're not going to do it in the same way. They're not going to do it in any way, shape, or form the same way that you are. So when you understand a greater sense of self and who you are, then that comparative analysis actually goes away or diminishes considerably, because you're standing strong in who you are and who you were meant to serve and what it is that you actually do. So I want to encourage you guys at the very beginning of this new year, and we're not quite at the end of Q1. I want you guys to really think of what you need to do in order to rock out the rest of this year, that's going to catapult you in a completely different direction than you ever thought possible, because you actually did take that evaluative time. That evaluative time that is so absolutely necessary to continue building that foundation for your life and for your business, because those two things are not exclusive. Like, those two things actually go together, right? It's not, this is my life and this is my business, because who you are on stage, on camera, should not be different than who you are in any other aspect of your life. It shouldn't be different with your significant other, with your kids. You know, the old adage of, you know, you come home from work and you're so mad and you kick the dog and you yell at your spouse and you yell at your kids and you have all these things. Like, you should be in more control of your emotions than that, and you should not be a different person. And so I want you guys to think about what that actually looks like for you and how you evaluate that and how you set the tone to move forward in a completely different way that is actually stronger, that gets you one step closer to stepping into that greater version of yourself. And so you've got to have that faith over fear. You've got to have that permission to actually understand that process and the value of that process and what that actually means for you in accomplishing your goals and getting you to where you want to go. And this is it may sound so simple, but it's actually a piece that a lot of people miss because they don't understand what that actually looks like. And they don't understand that when you think about the stories of the tortoise and the hare, we all know who wins that race, right? So sometimes it's actually going steady, it's going strong, it's saying that consistent persistence, and it's not taking your eyes off the ball, off the goal. It's continuing to move forward in your purpose, one slow step at a time, if that's what it is that is comfortable for you, if that's what it is that you need to do. The consistent, persistent action will win out over chaotic, you know, throwing spaghetti at the wall, I like to call it, or you're just doing all these random things. So that will win out. The consistent persistence will absolutely win in the end. I have a lot of people ask me, they're like, man, Lori, how do you do all these things? I stay consistent in what I do. And it's not about not giving up. It's about staying consistent. Even if you step back, how are you staying consistent in integrity and true to yourself in that process without completely feeling like you're giving up everything? And there's understanding how to do that when you need to go through that process. But the mindset is important. The staying in integrity with yourself and with your purpose and what's in your heart, soul, and mind to actually do in this world is absolutely important. It's okay to completely shift. It's okay to completely do a 180. What does that look like for you? And are you moving forward with complete intentional action and not necessarily doing the same thing, expecting that different result? We've all heard that, but I'm here to tell you that the reason I'm mentioning some of these things that may seem simple is because there's too many women out there not standing in their power and not doing it. So I want you to really take in what it is that I'm sharing with you today, because I'm sharing specific concepts for a reason. So as you move forward, I want you to really do a deeper dive into what are you spending your time on? What are you not doing that you should be doing? And what is it going to take to get there? Because ladies, I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of amazing things being done, but it's not necessarily what you should be doing that's going to move that needle to get you from wherever you are to where you want to be. There's great projects out there. There's great collabs out there. There's great opportunities out there. It doesn't have to be anything personal or anything that you have against that project or that whatever it is. But when you do that deeper dive and understand who you are, who you serve, and the problem that you solve, it's a lot easier to say no to the things that are not meant for you. And when you say no to those things, you're allowing the right opportunity, the space for the right opportunities to surface that will serve you so much better. And so some of you out there have a hard time saying no, which is why you're overwhelmed, burned out, have too much going on. And when you stay focused in your purpose and when you are in alignment with the right things and you understand that you don't have to be doing all of these crazy things, throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping that something will stick, you're actually allowing your energy, your resources, the space, God and the universe to actually bring you the right things. You don't have to say yes to everything. And again, that may sound simple, but I know there's a lot of women out there that are trying so hard. And the reason that you're burned out is because you're doing too much of the wrong things that don't light you up. There's a lot of things that we have to do as business owners, as entrepreneurs, especially in the beginning when we're juggling all the things. But you have to pay attention to what lights you up and what you need to do to actually, whether that's Sometimes that's trades. Sometimes that's hiring a VA. Sometimes that's hiring a part-time, full-time person. Whatever it is, don't stay stuck doing the things that don't light you up or that you don't actually need to be doing, because that will burn you out faster than anything. So I want you guys to pay attention to how you're maintaining that balance in life and in business, and don't stay stuck doing the things that other people can do. When you are in your full alignment and in your purpose, and you are focused doing only the things that you can do, then you begin to look at your whole business and life structure differently, with how can you solve problems that get you from where you are to where you want to be faster and stronger, by not maintaining that control or not having that fear over certain things, thinking that you have to be the one to do it, or you don't have enough resources, you don't have enough time, you don't have enough money. The reality is that you actually then are becoming your own bottleneck in that process. And so you need to have those real conversations with yourself and realize that you control your own vehicle in every way, shape, or form. You control your own vehicle, whether you need to do some internal work, external work. One absolutely affects the other. What is it that you need to do, that you need to stop doing right now, or that you could be doing differently, that's actually going to make that huge difference for you in how you move forward? Because once you get these foundational things underway, I'm telling you, everything that you want to do externally in the world becomes so much easier. You want more podcasts, you want more television, you want to be featured in more magazines, you want more stages, whatever it is. However you show up in the world, you will show up bigger, brighter, and stronger once you do some of these things that I'm talking about. Your messaging will become clearer. You will become more passionate and confident in what you're speaking. You will start to shift and change because you are hitting different levels of who you are. And you cannot hit the next level in your life and business unless you have actually understood that next level of who you need to become to get there. So I want you guys to really listen to what I'm saying and really take it seriously, because some of you have been in the same place for way too long, and you're trying to figure out how to get to your breakthrough. And there's things that you absolutely can control that need to happen in order to get to where you want to go. And quite honestly, who you were created to be. So I want you guys to really think about what that looks like. Some of you need to focus on your messaging and your branding and your marketing and all of that. And when you understand that greater sense of self, you begin to shift your mindset in who you are, who you serve, the problem that you solve, and your messaging becomes so much stronger in doing that. And you will then begin to shift in not being a different person on and off camera, on and off stage, at the office, so to speak, than you are at home, all of those different things, because who you are internally then has shifted. So I want you guys to think about what your goals are for the rest of this year. Is it more stages? Is it more print media? Is it whatever it is, more collaborations, more sales, whatever it is? What do you need to do to get to where you actually want to go, where you want to be in the next 8 months, let's just say, roughly by the end of the year. So there are things that you need to do right now. Some of you need, whether that's doing a deeper dive into, listening to more podcasts, going to more events, more trainings, taking more meditation, more prayer, more time out, going for nature walks, journaling. There's 1,000 things. You need to find out what works for you. And I want to encourage you that whatever that is, if it's not working, try something else. If it's not resonating with you, like, I don't know, I've never tried journaling, try it. Be consistent with it for 30 days. If it's not resonating with you, then try something else and find the thing that works for you. But you've got to maintain that balance that allows you to have that calm mind, that centered mind, so that you can allow the goodness to surface. I can tell you that some of my best ideas come out of times when I'm not trying to force them. When I'm just going for a walk with my son, or when I'm, in the shower. I've heard that from a lot of people as well. Or when I'm doing something completely different and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got it. I got this idea. So when you have things built into your life that allow the space and allow things to surface, that is a beautiful place to be. You need to maintain that balance. Yes, you want to work hard. Yes, you want to hustle. Yes, you want to have consistent persistence, but you need to find out the balance that works for you. because that is a huge piece of it. Your body and your brain and your soul and your mind will get completely burned out and stressed in more ways than you probably even realize, because most of us aren't completely in tune with our bodies. And that's a huge part of what's keeping us from moving forward in ways that we don't even know, because we're been operating in, this rat on a wheel for so long. So there's all these different things that you absolutely have control over that you can move forward with as you move forward. When that becomes more clear, then some of you have heard me speak before about 3 to 5 main messaging points. And as you practice that, you settle on the main 3. Your messaging points in the world become crystal clear when you've done some of this deeper internal work, because everything externally becomes easier. Your internal tools in your toolbox that make up who you are unique to you. Your internal tools help you solve external problems in only a way that you can. So if you picture a toolbox, you might have a hammer, you might have a wrench, you might have a screwdriver, whatever that is. Somebody else might have those same tools in their toolbox, but I'm here to tell you they're not going to use them in the same way. They're not going to use them in the same way. They're just not. They have different pressure amounts. They might hold them differently. I want you to think about that and visualize that in a tangible way. Faster, slower, all kinds of different ways. It doesn't matter. The tool isn't going to be used in the same way. So you can be in the same industry as somebody else. And what you need to realize is that who you are and who you show up in the world and how you show up in the world is automatically going to be different. It's not going to be the same. So if you're at an event and you're selling from stage, you have a booth, whatever that might look like, don't get wrapped up in the competition of, oh my gosh, they signed up more people than I did. Because the truth is that the people you're meant to reach are the people that are going to be in alignment with you and gravitate to you. And it is so much better to work with 2 or 3 of the right people than have a bunch of random people and random calls and people that you don't want to work with. Trust me, I've seen it a lot. So it's about changing your mindset around how you navigate the space that you're in and how you utilize the resources that you have every 24 hours in order to become that better version of yourself so that you can serve the people that you're meant to serve in the best way that you possibly can. You can be on a stage with 25 people in the room, and the people that are meant to hear your message will hear your message so much stronger than if there were 500 people in the room. So don't get wrapped up in numbers. I have people tell me all the time, they're like, oh, Lori, do you have qualifications, for you don't speak on stages that only have certain, number in your email list or, all these crazy things. No, it's about the alignment. It's about the alignment. It's about so many other things. I don't turn down stages just because they don't have, 500,000 people on their email list. It's crazy how many times I get asked that question. It's about the alignment. It's about my purpose. It's about so many other things other than the numbers. So it's important to pay attention to the numbers in your business, obviously, but don't get wrapped up in all of these metrics that entrepreneurship and online community are telling you are the most important aspects to focus on in business, because they're not. They're absolutely not. So I want you guys to really think about what that looks like when you're moving forward and how you're shifting your mindset to your audience size and to maybe how many clients you have over somebody else and how big your email list size is and how big your following is and all those different things, because you want to always be building those things as strong as you can all the time, but they're not necessarily indicators of success. So, and I'm mentioning that because these are things that people get wrapped up in their mind. They get focused in the wrong direction. And so then that causes their actions and their decisions to flow from that are not in the direction that they should be focusing on. So I love doing what I do every single day. I love helping entrepreneurs get from wherever they are to where they want to be. And I want to encourage you guys to add the right tools to your toolbox. Add the right tools to your toolbox that are going to help you solve the problems that you were meant to solve, and to have that faith over fear and to step into that courageously and unapologetically. If you think about having a flashlight in your hand, it is not possible when you are in pitch dark the pitch dark woods to actually see everything in front of you, right? The flashlight is designed to illuminate only maybe 1 or 2 steps at a time. And when you take that next step, then the flashlight illuminates the next 1 or 2 steps in front of you. That is what it is designed to do. You are not meant to have all of the answers coming to you at one time. The greater version that you are, the more that you step into that greater version of yourself, the more that everything begins to change around you, with people that surface, with resources, with opportunities, with aha moments that you have. You don't even know what you don't know until you have that faith over fear and you start down that path. And then you say, oh, I'm supposed to take a step this way. I'm supposed to take a step this way. It is a journey. It is a learning journey. It's not about getting to the end, because if you're focused on becoming that better version of yourself all the time, your goals will change. Your goals will become bigger and better all the time. And the goal and the end that you thought that you once wanted is not going to be the end all and be all like you think that it is sometimes at certain point, certain mindset that you have at that moment. Let me give you an example. Before I retired, I actually was offered the dean's position at my university 3 different times. The third time I was offered the position, I had to take a step back and realize, why does this no longer excite me? Why does this no longer serve me? The goal that I once had that would have been the pinnacle for many people in the field of education no longer excited me. Why is that? It's because I stepped into a greater version of myself, and I realized that the people that I was meant to serve, the mission that I was meant to pursue, was greater than that I once wanted. So that's when I retired and actually went global to do a lot of the things that I do now outside of the confines of the classroom. Could I have continued down that path and had a great career and had amazing opportunities? Absolutely. But it no longer was what I desired. It's no longer what I wanted, because I was able to grow into the greater version of myself and expand my mindset in ways I didn't even understand, didn't even realize. So your goals should scare you. Your goals should be bigger all the time, the more that you reach that next level. So I want you to think about the flashlight in your life. I want you to think about that flashlight in your hand and understand that you have to take that next step. It's not possible for you to understand all the options. It's not possible for you to understand all of the information and the resources and the stages and the opportunities. It's not even possible. Wherever you are, I want you to think about where you were a year ago. Did you think that you would be at this point today, right now, on International Women's Day? Probably not. For some of you, maybe you've accomplished some of those goals and you're still pursuing some of those other goals. What is it going to take for you to get to whatever that next level is, to whatever that next goal is? Understand that you are in control of the flashlight in your hand. You're in control of the direction that it shines. But it's not possible to see all the steps in front of you. You have to take that next step in order for it to illuminate and show you the continued path that you were meant to go down. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this very special International Women's Day, I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to push you, to tell you that it absolutely is possible, and you are in control of so much more than you might realize that's going to be what you need in order to get to where you want to go. So start right now, today, making notes of some goals and being honest with yourself on how are you actually limiting yourself? How are you actually your own bottleneck? And what is it actually going to take to get to where you want to go? What does that look like? And then go after it fervently. Go after that with consistent persistence. Stay completely focused on your path, your journey, your mission, your goal, and serve the people that you were meant to serve, that you were created to serve, and block out all the noise. And remember that it's okay to give yourself permission to take a step back, to check out in order to check back in. And with that, Marianne, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Thank you so much for having me open this amazing event on International Women's Day. It's my honor to be here with you.
And thank you so much, Lori, for taking time out of your insane schedule. Like, I thought I was busy, people. I don't really actually think I know one human being on earth that is busier than Lori. Like, that is just no. And thank you for always, always gracing us by opening up all of my Empowered Talk summits, no matter where you're at crazy times of the day. I don't even know what time zone is Dallas. It's maybe not as bad as where you live, which is
Central.
like
I'm in Central today.
6 a.m. she usually comes in at, and I thought, oh gosh, she's going to have to be here at 5:30 in the morning, but thank goodness it's a little bit later today. For where
you never know, because I've literally come to these from all countries across the globe.
It's true. It's true. And all kinds of different hotels and, oh my gosh, all kinds of wonderful internet issues that we all have. So thank you again, Lori, so much as always. I mean, she brings so much great information. I always have the most amount of activity right around when we open, and then there's Lori, and everybody already knows because this has been going on for nearly a year and a half now. And then, we have the most amount of activity on the live on my Facebook. So thank you again, Lori, so much. I'm sure you have 20 other places you're speaking at today. Today is such a busy time. Even I'm making my summit shorter so I can get to my speaking engagements. Anyways,
Yes.
Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. And I don't know where you're going after, but have fun.
Thank you so much, Marianne. It's always a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of this celebrating women on this amazing day, and enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And let's please continue to celebrate women, because that's why we're here today. How beautiful. So now I'm going to bring everyone back. Thank you, Lori. Have a great day. I'm going to bring you back to Australia. So we're going to Brisbane, Australia with Kylie Leota. Kylie, if you would kindly unmute, and I am going to let you speak and tell us all about yourself and what you do, and let's start.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Marianne. I always say good morning to you all from the future, because it's actually Sunday morning here in Australia, where we're ahead of the game. It's rainy here. I hope wherever you are that it's beautiful where you are. And I'm so excited to be here. And if you're only jumping on now, you might have heard that in Australia, in Brisbane, particularly where I am, we've been navigating a tropical cyclone, like a hurricane in your world, if you're in the States. And what I thought about that, and so Mary and I were talking about this earlier, whether or not I'd even make it here, whether or not have power, whether it had an internet and all of these things. But I actually think, and the reason I kind of mention that is because I think it actually highlights the beauty of being a business goddess, is that showing up even when it's messy, even when it's imperfect, even when it's the middle of the night. And I think that's so true of life. And in my own journey of becoming a business goddess, I think I've had to navigate so much messy and imperfection in life. I escaped domestic violence. I raised 3 kids of my own. I had an injury that ended a career that I loved but was no longer aligning. And as Laurie was talking about, alignment is so important. And so I think it's just so important that we show up even when it's messy, even when it's imperfect. If you keep waiting around for the beauty and everything to be in alignment, in terms of perfection, and you will never ever get it right. You've just got to get started. And so resilience is about how we pick ourselves up after we fall. And as I've just described by a few experiences, I've had to pick myself up a number of times. The Japanese have a saying. They say fall down 7, stand up 8. And today I'm going to talk to you about 8 key messages in creating infinite opportunities and infinite possibilities about being a business goddess. But I thought I'd just reintroduce myself. My name is Kylie Leota, and I am the CEO and Chief Vision Officer of Elements for Success. And oh my goodness, the words at midnight. Earl Nightingale defined success as the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. And there are many different elements that make up success. and what success looks like for me might look different for you, might look different for Marianne. Everyone's got their own definition when you take the time to unpack it. And the reason that I bring that up is that I think it's so important because we have this idea of what success should look like, particularly as business owners and entrepreneurs, and it is going to look different for each and every one of us. So I think it's really important to understand that there's lots of different elements and lots of different work that you're working on. And the 8 key messages that I really want to talk about today is how to create infinite leadership in life, in business, in entrepreneurship. And so the 8 key pillars that I'm going to talk about are in alignment with the concept of being infinite. And because infinite is an ongoing evolution. I'm not the same person I was 3 weeks ago. I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago. I certainly am not the same person I was 6 years ago. So we've got to keep reminding ourselves that this is a continuous improvement journey. And whilst we need to be compassionate and kind to ourselves of where we are in our journey, it's also okay to recognize that this is continuous improvement and that we're going to keep working through this to be a better version of ourselves each day. So the first pillar in infinite is identity. And so much of what Laurie was talking about earlier is about understanding your strengths, understanding your values, understanding what you bring to the table, including your own blind spots. And the reason that your identity is so important is going back to that alignment piece. If you are very clear on who you are, then you're going to attract clients and customers into your business that align to you. Equally, if you're not clear who you are, you've got to find that misalignment of getting confused about who your customer base is, who your clients are, and it's not going to work out as easily. There's going to be very messy times because there's going to be misalignment. And that can lead to lots of self-doubt. Am I doing the right thing? Who am I? Should I even have a business? And we've just got to remember that bringing ourselves back to our identity and who we are helps us stay in alignment with that. And I think it's really important. There's this amazing quote by a gentleman by the name of Vusi Thembekwayo, and he said, identity is man-made, so thereby it can be man-changed. And in our case, woman-changed, right? Which means that we have the power to walk in alignment. And if we're reflecting on our own identity and it's not where we want to be, we actually have the power to change that. And so often we walk outside of our own power and we give it away to others because we're not aware, we're not taking conscious action on our own identity. And it's a constant process. And it's also important to look at that aspirational identity. What are the kind of skills that you want and where do you want to go? And what are the behaviors and actions that you need to take to create that if you're not currently content with where you are? The second pillar is nurturing. And this is all about our emotional intelligence and our emotional agility, knowing yourself and knowing how to, I call it, taking that self-awareness and putting it into practice, theory into practice, taking that self-awareness and putting it into self-management, understanding how you show up under pressure, under stress, when things are going well, when things aren't going well, and also social awareness and social management. We all have triggers, but if we are blind to those, they're going to emotionally hijack us on our journey. So we need to give ourselves compassion and grace as we're learning this process. And also it helps us not give away our power to others. Sure, we've all been guilty of picking up that phone or going to keyboard warrior that email or that response in business and in life. But if we are nurturing ourselves and nurturing others, we're going to show up with greater emotional intelligence. And that's going to foster us to make better decisions, more grounded, and allowing us to respond rather than react. And the emotional agility helps us also be adaptable to the circumstances that are ever evolving and ever changing. And that is the nature of business. So being able to be agile emotionally helps us navigate those storms as we come across them. The third pillar in being a business goddess in the infinite model is about fearlessness. And the way that I describe fearlessness is not the absence of fear. It's about how we move through fear to get to the other side. And we have so many fears that we're facing all of the time. And we talk a lot about fear of failure, but actually our brains are also unconsciously have this fear of success at times. If I do this, if I put myself out there, and what happens if I get too many clients? What if I can't fulfill all my obligations? All of these things that we play. And so we become our own self-sabotagers. And so that's how the fear of success plays out for us. And one of the things that fearlessness requires is courage. And there's a story of the Native American buffalo. It is the only animal that runs towards the storm when a storm is occurring. And that's the reason is not because buffaloes love water. It's not because they love storms. It's because they know that going through it is going to minimize the pain. They're going to move through it quicker and they're going to faster and they're going to get to the other side by facing it. Our human nature is to want to run away from the storm and not face those fears. And what happens is we end up being stuck in that storm for longer. It is like the song that never ends. And it feels like we are doing this to ourselves and we are stuck in this messiness and this ugliness because we're not taking the time to address our fears. And we need some support to do that. But if we are like the Native American buffaloes, we're going to navigate that faster and get to the other side. That leads us to innovation, which is an opportunity to create, to connect, to nurture, to explore, and to develop. It's about cultivating our own curiosity and our own creativity. And if you'd asked me many years ago if I was creative and innovative, I would have said no, because I'm not artistic. I'm not musically talented, although I love music. But what I realized is I'm innovative about ideas. I came from a long career of having to create out of the box ideas for traditional problems. And I've been doing that for 20 years. So when it comes to problem solving, I am one of the most innovative people around. If anyone's watched that movie, Mary Poppins, where she pulls stuff out of her bag, this infinite, endless pit of stuff out of her bag, I'm like that, but for strategies. I've never run out of ideas yet. I'm like the Mary Poppins of strategies. I think the other thing about being innovative is also understanding that generally by nature, we are empathetic. As business goddesses and as women, we are generally empathetic people. And that can be dangerous at times because it can be a bit like a thermometer. A thermometer reads the room and it decides what the temperature is by reading the room around it. So when we have a thermometer, if the energy around us is low, we tend to lower our energy. If the energy is high, we tend to raise our energy. And that's how empaths work, because we absorb the energy around us. What we need to be is the thermostat. This thermostat sets the temperature of the room, it sets the energy, and it guides that innovation and practice. So always remember to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. As we're navigating through our entrepreneurship journey, we know that we have to have confidence. But what we need to not have is this supremely high issue with our egos getting in the way. And so the next pillar in our infinite journey in business goddess land is around understanding to serve with nobility. And that is a commitment to integrity, humility, and to being of service with others. And Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is in the service of others. And so often when we get caught up on our own metrics, like Laurie was talking about earlier, metrics are important. We need to understand them. But every biggest shift I've ever had energetically and in business is when I've been caught up in myself and worrying about what's going on for me. When I take a step back and remind myself that my role is to serve others and that I have a message to give, to support and help and empower others, then automatically the energy shifts and then the metrics tend to follow. So getting caught up in our own ego about what we need. So we need ego-free leadership, and we need to separate that from confidence. Confidence is wonderful. It's our ego that gets in the way. The last few pillars are about creating influence, and that's a foundation in psychological safety. And we need to model the behaviors that we have through things like effective conversation, communication, and a foundation in psychological safety. And we need to create that for ourselves. And that's a sense of inclusion, a sense of being a learner, being able to value our own contributions that we bring to our table, and to be able to navigate challenges that we face. The second last pillar is transformation, and that's bringing everything together. You know, we create a legacy regardless of whether or not we want to. So we have the choice to make a conscious decision about the legacy that we leave rather than an unconscious legacy. And as what this community presents today and this summit presents today is the final pillar in our infinite journey, which is ecosystem. By surrounding yourself with people that will lift you up rather than pull yourself down. And also making sure that you're navigating your ecosystem within yourself and keeping everything in harmony. And sometimes that means that something will stand up and act quite loud, such as work will take a focus for a while. But in order to create the perfect symphony, everything has to operate in alignment, and that is bringing that self back into it. And so to create the perfect ecosystem, we need to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with those people that can support us. And one of the things that I've done is do an energy audit. So every time I finish a conversation, every time I'm in a meeting, every time I leave a convention, a summit, anything I do an energy audit. Do I feel energized by what I did, or am I feeling drained? And then I recalibrate and recalibrate and recalibrate until I'm making sure that I'm only engaging in energy activities that give me energy rather than drain my energy. So I hope those 8 key takeaways have been really helpful for you today in order to be your business goddess, your best business goddess. And on International Women's Day, I hope that you are celebrating yourself, giving yourself grace and compassion for wherever you are in your journey. And remember that being an infinite leader in business, is about an infinite evolution, and that creates infinite possibilities and infinite opportunities. Thank you so much, Marianne, for having me. And I hope the rest of your summit and day goes amazingly.
Oh, it will. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the cyclone gods who did not interrupt your internet. Right?
Yes, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And you can tell that you're in Canada and I'm in Brisbane, Australia, because of our clothing, if there was no other discernment. Because it's hot here, because I've got everything closed because of all the rain.
Okay, so we had a little interruption there. Well,
oh my goodness. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
No, and you know what? It is extremely windy here today, and it's not like this has never happened before. This is what happens in the world of virtualness. And I'm always happy to have something authentic and real. And so here we are. It's okay. This wouldn't be the first time. I have a social media girl that edits all my videos. So once we put everything together, it'll be great. Well, anyways, thank you again, Kylie, and I hope you have a worry-free day and a cyclone-free day, and everyone stays safe. So thank you again for that. And this brings me to thank you, and thank you so much for helping me spread the beautiful word for International Women's Day. So this brings me to another amazing powerhouse woman, Miss Nikki Cuesta, or Mrs. Nikki Cuesta, or whichever way you would like to be addressed. I am not going to say anything else further, so I will let her introduce herself to you and let her tell you all about everything she does. Oh, we still have this. Okay, so what's happening here? Let me see if I can fix this. No, I can't. And okay, Nikki, you know what? I think once you start, there we go. Once you start talking, there we go. I think you're muted, honey.
Yep, I was muted. Of course I was. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much, Marianne, for this amazing day. And I am super honored to bring you some stuff here. Today, we all gather to celebrate the power of resilience, the power of persistence, brilliance to women across the world. And I want to take a moment to honor one very special woman. Happy heavenly birthday to my grandmother. Today's a bit surreal. That on this very day that we celebrate women, I also get to celebrate her life. But in reflection on this, I realized something very, very powerful. She was one of the first women who shaped me. I'll never forget the first time I picked up a microphone to speak. It wasn't on the grand stage. It wasn't with confidence, and it wasn't with excitement. It was actually at her funeral. I was only 12 years old, standing there, holding back tears, my heart racing, filled with fear and grief and uncertainty. I didn't know how to express what she meant to me, but I didn't even know if I had the strength to speak. But I didn't realize that in that moment, that 30 years later, I would be speaking on stages all around the world and just like this. That moment was the hardest in my life. That was actually the seed that was planted for my purpose. As the owner of Bomb Global and Ladies of Leadership and bringing women together on a daily basis, all it took was for me to dream it, build it, and elevate it. I want you to remember this. Sometimes the very thing that terrifies you is the thing that will transform you. Sometimes the moment you feel smallest is actually preparing you for the biggest you'll ever be. And sometimes your pain is the very thing that will lead you to your purpose. So today, let's celebrate the dreams we carry, the things we build, and the levels that are meant to rise. Because if I could go from being scared at 12 years old, holding a mic in fear, to a woman standing and sitting now on a virtual global stage in my purpose, so can you. So let's talk about it. Let's dream it, build it, and elevate it. I want you to imagine waking up 10 years from now, looking in the mirror and realizing that you spent an entire decade living a life you never truly wanted. Not because you weren't capable, not because you weren't deserving, but because you never gave you the permission to dream. Today is International Women's Day, and I want to talk about something that we as women often struggle with, not because we aren't powerful, but because we've been conditioned to play small, to wait for permission, to dim our light. But today I want to challenge you to break free from all of that. I want to challenge you to dream, to build and elevate. And we're going to go on this journey. So let's start with dreaming. Every great moment, every great successful woman, every legacy we admire, it all started with a dream. But let me ask you, when was the last time you gave yourself permission to dream beyond your current reality? What was the last time you stopped thinking about what's possible and started asking, what do I truly want? We are so good at dreaming for others. We dream for our children, for our families and our communities. But what about you? What about the dreams God placed in your heart? I also want to share with you the dangers if you don't dream. You live a life of a routine instead of a life of purpose. You settle instead of striving. You become a spectator in your own story instead of an author. And let me tell you something, the enemy of your dream is doubt. Some of you have buried dreams because of what people told you. Some of you have ignored your dreams because of fear. But today I want you to say to yourself, if I can dream, I can do it. Because the only thing stopping you from your life you want is the belief that you deserve it. Build it. This is the courage of taking action. Now let's talk about building. Dreams are beautiful, but dreams without action, they're just fantasies. How many people do you know who have great ideas but never executed them? How many of us said, one day I'll start my business, one day I'll write that book, one day I'll go after what I want? Guess what? One day is not on the calendar. Building takes work. It's sacrifice. It's not easy. It's uncomfortable. And here's the hard truth. You will fail, but failure isn't final. It's just a lesson. And if you don't build, you'll stay stuck in the same place while the world moves forward. You'll watch others live lives you wanted simply because they took action and you didn't. You prove your doubters right instead of proving yourself right. Ladies, it's time to build, not tomorrow, not next year, today. Now, how do you elevate it? The commitment to growth and now elevation, here's the thing. Once you build, you can't stop there. You have to elevate it. You have to grow. The version of you that starts something is not the same version of you that will finish it. So what are you holding back? What habits are keeping you from the next level? Ask yourself, are you still operating with the mindset that served you then, but it's limiting you now? And if you don't elevate it, you plateau. You watch others pass you by because you refuse to evolve you. Never reach the full potential God placed inside of you. But let me tell you something, you were not put on this earth just to exist. You were placed here to impact, inspire, and elevate. So today I challenge you in building it, in dreaming it and elevating it, because your purpose isn't just about you. It's about the people waiting for you to step into it. As business goddesses today, like I said, it was not easy. It was a journey. Building leadership mindset is just that. It's how do you show up every single day, and what is it that you really truly want? Just know that you can get there. On International Women's Day, not just do we go for what we want, we take each other with us. You don't leave anyone behind. And that's what I love about the communities that I serve, that are able to bring women together and empower them to see that life is beyond what we have been conditioned to realize what it is. If you can dream it, you can build it. If you can build it, you can elevate it. And if you can elevate it, you can change the world. Now, let me ask you one last thing. What stage are you in? What stage are you in right now? And if you are not satisfied with that stage, know that you have every ounce of power to control it. And I'm just going to share one quick last tidbit. Our life, when we get stuck, it's like when a computer freezes and all that good stuff. And what do we do when that happens? We hit the Control-Alt-Delete button. And that Control-Alt-Delete button, what it does, it gives you the opportunity to find out what you can control, to alternate and pivot what's not serving you, and to delete also what's not serving you. So ladies, rise up and rise each other up on this day. Thank you so much, Marianne, for this beautiful opportunity to talk to the world and really support International Women's Day today and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki, so much. Yes, let's elevate each other. I mean, this is why we're here, right? So all of these ladies have taken time out of their very busy schedules, because let's face it, we're all entrepreneurs and we're all equally busy, and there's families and children to take care of and whatnot. And, you know, they've taken the time to come here and to enrich everyone's life, you know, ours, theirs, yours, everyone's. So thank you so much, Nikki. She is a fearless leader. She's actually really, really powerful. I don't think she gives herself.
Women.
I don't think she gives herself the credit that she actually deserves. She's a huge, powerful leader, and she's wonderful. And I had the pleasure of meeting her last year in Maryland, and hopefully we will see each other again this year. I think by then it'll be my 7th trip of the year. So it's a busy year. Thank you, Nikki, so much.
Thank you.
And with that, I will let you listen to one of our wonderful other ladies. Her name is Ivy Perez, and she comes to us from New Jersey. Ivy, welcome. Introduce yourself to the public, and thank you so much for joining us today. Take it away, young lady.
Thank you, Miss Marianne. Hello, ladies. Good morning. Good morning to the world. Happy International Women's Day. So today is a day that we recognize a lot of women who have either paved the way, who didn't stay silent, who were resilient, who persevered, who just showed up in a way that really empowered other people, men and women alike. And earlier today, I talked about just a handful of women. One was Florence Nightingale. She, during the Crimean War, I think it was like 1955, she paved the way for healthcare. She transformed healthcare by improving sanitation and patient care. There was Wilma Rudolph, who fought polio when she was a child and won 3 gold medals in 1960 in one track and field event. There's Rosa Parks, who is like dubbed the mother of the civil rights movement. We have Malala, I'm not even going to pronounce her last name at the moment, but she escaped an assassination attempt at 15 years old by the Taliban, and she is now a global activist for girls' education and the youngest Nobel Peace Laureate. So these are women, and there's many in our past, in our present, and in here today. So business goddess. So first, thank you for asking me to be part of this. I remember when you had asked me And I thought, wow, business goddess. All right, well, let's get to it. So for me, I'm kind of dubbing this from rock bottom to rising up, right? So I'll give a little story and I'll tell you a little bit about kind of like that rise. So 6.5 years ago, I was in a place where I never would have imagined being here today, sober, strong, building a life and business on my terms. But transformation doesn't happen overnight, as we all know. It happens in the tiny daily decisions that we make, the ones that no one sees, but the ones that change everything. My journey has taken me from addiction to endurance sports, from uncertainty to an incredible journey of entrepreneurship. And today I'm here to share how overcoming my struggles led to my passion for empowering others, whether it's through my morning coffee talk time lives, my journey as a triathlete, nutrition, supplementation, or building a thriving cleaning and organizing business with the same discipline and heart that actually saved my life. So we need to choose ourselves first. And I think we know that consciously, but it's really important that we do this. So for years, I numbed myself with alcohol. I told myself I was fine, but deep down inside, I knew I was playing small, and I knew that I was hiding from my potential. And the day that I chose sobriety, I had no idea I was choosing so much more. I was choosing discipline. I was choosing clarity. I was ultimately choosing self-trust. And sobriety didn't just remove alcohol from my life, it forced me to face myself, to rebuild, and to learn what I was truly capable of. So 2 decades ago, I embarked on the marathon journey, and it's just like anything else. It's that one step in front of the other, and one step leads to many, leads to that first mile, leads to half marathons, leads to marathons for me. Not everybody, for me. But it was in my sobriety that I found triathlons, and that changed everything for me, because training for a triathlon wasn't just about the physical endurance, it's the mental endurance as well. It's about pushing past the doubts, the fears, and the old stories that says, I can't do that. But also, I realized that if I was going to truly thrive, not just in sport, but in life, I had to take care of my health from the inside out. Every finish line proved that I could do hard things, that I could commit, that I could keep promises to myself. It wasn't just about training, it was about fueling my body properly, filling in the gaps with what I do is high quality. It's a high quality protein protocol, protein pacing protocol that I do. And that supports my muscle growth and my recovery, and using adaptogens that helps my body handle stress and perform, and for me to perform at my best. And because I believe in holistic health, I also incorporate the APL Go candies, which are bioavailable plant DNA nutrition that fills in all the missing gaps. And that's what nutrition and supplementation does. Between these tools, and I'm not just strengthening my body, I'm strengthening my internal systems, mind, body, spirit, so I can show up fully in every area of my life. And that same mindset, it's exactly what helps me show up in my business every day. Because success, whether in sport, sobriety, or entrepreneurship, it's about resilience, consistency, taking care of myself from the inside out. So, showing up. This is not easy for a lot of people, but showing up is so incredibly important, and we need to lead ourselves first. So when I started my coffee talk time lives every morning, I wasn't sure if anyone would listen, but I knew I needed to show up, not just for others, but for myself, because success isn't about one big moment. It's about the small, daily, consistent habits that build momentum. It's like the domino effect. If your momentum is far apart, when one domino falls, you're not going to have that momentum. It's going to take you longer. But when you stack those closer together, now it kind of all falls, and it just creates this beautiful flow and overflow in our lives. So every morning I pour into my community. I help build confidence, stay accountable, shift the mindset around personal growth. And here's what I've learned. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And you build it by showing up, even when you don't feel like it. So whether it's training for a triathlon, getting sober, or running a business, your ability to be successful comes down to a handful of things, at least for me. One is faith. 2, trust. 3, perseverance. 4, discipline. And 5, consistency. Now, there are others, but building a business, this has been a journey for me. And there's heart in it. There's some hustle in there as well. But this same mindset of discipline and service is what I'm now bringing into my cleaning and organizing business, because to me, it's not just about cleaning a space. It's about creating an environment where people feel good, where when they walk in, they feel a sense of peace. And just like in life, success in business isn't about what you do once. It's about the care, consistency, and excellence you bring to everything you do. I'm building something that's not just profitable, but meaningful. And just like every other part of my journey, that's the heart of building a business or being a business goddess, right? We take our struggles, we take our passions and our gifts, and we build something greater than ourselves. So, in closing, this is you stepping into your business goddess power. So whether you are rebuilding your life, starting a new journey, or scaling your business, remember this: everything you want is on the other side of consistency, belief, and action. I'm standing here today, or sitting, because I made a choice to get sober, to push my limits, to show up every day, and to serve others with my gifts. And you have that same power within you. You are capable, you are resilient, you are equipped to achieve that goal or dream that's placed on your heart. And if you are already a business goddess, or if you don't know, because you are, you just have to step into it. And maybe, just maybe, there's that whisper and you've been trying to quiet it or ignore it. It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away because you are meant to do it. You are being called to do that thing because you have the capacity to do it. So pay attention, trust, believe, and take one small action today. And you got this. So happy International Women's Day, my friends. I am Ivy Perez. I am Central Jersey. Come join me every day, every morning, right here on Facebook for my Coffee Talk Time lives, as I am dubbed the Personal Growth Girl. And if you are in the local community area, if you need your home or your business transformed, reach out to me. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Ivy. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to all the women for making yourself so vulnerable and sharing your most intimate stories with the rest of the women and the rest. We have some men watching too, so the rest of the world, so that we can also help to empower them as well. You know, there was a time when, I didn't think I had a story. I'm like, I don't really have a story. Like, I don't know. I don't think my life is that exciting. I think I do what I need to do, and I don't really give it much thought until I started talking to someone. They're like, oh my God, you should share that with people. And I'm like, oh, nobody wants to hear about, my abuse and this and that. I'm like, who cares? And then it's like, no, it's important to share. And you think it doesn't matter to another person, but the more of your yucky stuff you share, the more they see that their yucky stuff is also overcomable. Yeah, I love making up words. And and it helps to empower and strengthen and gives them hope. And I think that's the bottom line to everything, is let's give everyone hope for everything. So thank you so much, Ivy. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Stay with us, of course, for as long as you can. Thank you for sharing. And with that, We have, I think I have the Latin connection here right now. We have Nikki, Ivy, and we have Yara. Yara. These are all my favorite, well, some of my favorite women. I mean, everyone is my favorite, of course. And these are some beautiful, beautiful women. So with that, I will bring you Miss Yara and Ortiz. Yara, would you come join us, please?
Yes, absolutely. First thing first, happy National Women's Day. Happy Queen's Day. Grab that crown and put it right on your head because that is you. That's for us. Today is for us. Ladies, every day should be a Woman's Day, right? Let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that we are standing in rooms, that we are making moves, and that we are breaking barriers, at making history that when at one point wasn't even built for us, right? And give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a hug, and take it all in. We're celebrating a day of power, strength, resilience, perseverance, an unstoppable spirit of woman everywhere. And now let's be real. Being a woman is a full-time job with no days off. There's no sick days, no PTO. Like, what is that, right? We juggle careers, families, we juggle dreams, and we set goals and expectations. And all while looking very good looking and fabulous, of course, with some lipstick on. Pero, not the case. It's not easy. It's not always easy. We've been told to sit down. We've been told to be quiet. We've been told not to be too much. We've been told not to be too loud. I know I have been told these things. Don't talk until I tell you to. No man is ever going to love you. You're so naive. You look like a bum. I've been told these words. And these words have made a big, big hole in my self-esteem, in my confidence, in the way I viewed myself. And sometimes these beliefs are planted in our minds by words or actions towards us. And some other times it's just, we just carry these beliefs that are not even ours. They just might come from how we grew up, the people around us, or just society by itself in general. But who decides we are too much? Who decides we have to shrink? Who decides who we are, our worth? We do. We decide, right? We decide when to be too much and if we want to be. We decide how to show up and when to show up. We decide how to shine bright and how bright we're going to shine. We decide. Today we celebrate the power of being exactly who we are. Strong, smart, beautiful, bold, soft but fierce, don't get it twisted, and everything in between. We don't have to fit into anyone's box. And we are sure hell don't have to need permission to chase our dreams or our own voices. We're not put in this earth to just survive. We are here to thrive, to leave our mark and make history. So let's fix each other's crowns, ladies. Let's lift each other up as we climb. And let's own our own power. Be as loud as you want. Shine as brightly as you can shine for the world to see. And be you. No apologies. With no apologies. Just be you. And ladies, my name is Yara N. Ortiz, international best-selling author, award-winning speaker and author and financial consultant, owner and CEO of BCS, Bookkeeping Consulting Services, where we provide bookkeeping and financial management services to nonprofits and small businesses. And I thank you for being here, for listening, and for showing up for yourselves. Thank you, ladies.
Yara, tell us a little about what you do, because you do something else, then you do something else with gold, and you do some other things.
What else do I do? Well, the gold thingy, I just got in that. So I don't want to talk too much about it because I really don't know much yet. I'm getting acquainted to it. So once I get to know more, I definitely will share. Um, what else? A little bit about me. I am a mother of a very handsome teenage boy. I
Mhm.
am also the mom of a gorgeous fairy princess. um, what else? I actually have a 5-day book budget boot camp that is coming up, starting the week of March 24th. Because BCS also provides budgeting plans for individuals. And right now I have that going on that is coming on March 24th. It's going to be great. You know, we are going to break things down really to the teeth, how to figure out, you know, where your money's going, and plan and build a game plan as to, to start saving and creating a budget so you can now have more clarity in your finances. I'm also under you, Marianne, with the FPO Go um,
Yes.
vitamin, which is awesome. And what else do you want me to say? That I'm a queen.
That you're a queen. Yes, that's where I was leading you. You are a queen. And yeah, we both just started this goal journey because Jose
Mhm.
kind of introduced us to this. We have Kathy to take care of us, which is why we don't know that much about it. We just know a little about it. We know that we like gold coins and silver coins. It's a great way to save. For me, I'm not a big savings account person because as soon as I have some money, I buy property or I get involved or I invest into a property on some crazy level. So this is something we both just started. So for me, this is like my version of a savings account.
Yep.
Uh, I think gold is better than a savings account. That's just my opinion. I'm less likely to spend it. If there's money in a savings account, I'll be like, oh, I'll just take it out of my savings account. And with the APL Go, we will speak a little bit more about that a little bit later. But yes, that is also a lot of fun. So thank you so much, Yara. She is absolutely amazing. All of these women are. In fact, a lot of us know each other from Jose's group, the Connected Leaders Academy. And so once a year, I like to do this for women I've done business with. And so thank you so much, Yara. And
Thank you.
Bethany, I know we're a little bit ahead of schedule. Are you okay to start? Yes? Bethany? Yes?
I am okay to start. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Bethany comes to us from, can you tell us again where you're from? Idaho, I think, is it? Or no?
I'm in
Yes.
Idaho. Yep.
Perfect. And I will now say thank you again to Yara and happy International Women's Day. And thank you for coming here. And Bethany, who is going to speak a little bit ahead of schedule. Oh my God, we're literally never ahead of schedule. It takes a bunch of women to stay on schedule. Like we're so awesome. Go for it. Bethany Stone, tell us about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually am excited that we're ahead of schedule a little bit because after this, I have to go to a dance competition for the rest of the day because as moms and as women, we wear many hats. And I think that is something that is very unique to us, is that we are so nurturing and so loving and so caring, and that we can wear many hats. And being a dance coach and being a dance mom is another hat that I wear. So this works out really well. Some of the other hats that I wear is I'm also a bungee fitness instructor, and I'm also a mom to 6 kids. I'm also a Montessori educator. I am also a mindset and life skills coach. And that right now is my passion. That is what I do. And that is what I love to help people with, is teach them the life skills that they need to be able to change their mindset. And as women, I feel like we sometimes get so caught up and so stuck in our lives. We have so many things. We have a lot of the times homes to take care of. We need to nurture our friendships. Those are important to us. We need to make sure that we go to the grocery store because we have to feed people. Like there's a lot of things and a lot of hats and things we just do because we're amazing. Women are amazing. We are very capable. one of the project that I'm currently working on is actually what I want to talk about, because women are so amazing. I'm creating a program that I am so excited about, because something I feel like we forget as women, because we give so much of ourselves, is to take care of ourselves, because we want to give so much all the time that we forget that sometimes we have to stop and take care of ourselves for a minute, because we cannot give from an empty cup. We need to fill our cups too to be able to give to others, because we have that nature of love and compassion and wanting to help. But if we keep giving and giving and giving, we end up being stressed and being overwhelmed and having so much anxiety and just not feeling good, and everything becomes too much. And we've reached that point where we have just had it. We're done. And that is because we have not filled our own cup. But I can tell you, I know how to fix this. I have figured it out. It has taken years and years, but I think I know. So here's the secret. There are 5 different areas of self-care. And each one of these areas of self-care, if you fill each area of self-care, you will be able to fill your cup at a capacity that is overflowing. You will be able to fill other people's cups and feel fulfilled as a woman, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, as every type of thing that you're trying to fulfill, you will feel filled. So these cups, I'm going to make sure I don't mess them up, but you always have your emotional self-care. You have your spiritual self-care. You have your physical self-care, your social self-care, and your intellectual self-care. Each one of these cups or buckets, whatever you want to call them, to fill, if you fill each of these buckets, you will be fulfilled and you will be able to give to others. And I love that idea, being able to not feel stressed and being able to give to others. Another speaker, I can't remember who said it, but I wrote it down. But we experience burnout. We experience just exhaustion. But if we fill our cups, we're not going to feel the same exhaustion. We're going to feel fulfilled. I only do things in my life that fill my cup. People are like, you are so busy. You teach ballroom dance. You tutor. I still tutor because I love to do it. You're running a business. You're doing speaking. You're being an author. I run. I also teach bungee fitness. Like, I do a lot of things, and I love to hike, and I love to mountain bike, and I love to do so many different things. And some people are like, you're so busy. How do you have time? And I make sure that I do things that fill my cup. Luckily, the things I like to do also fill other people's cups. And I think that that is just a natural consequence of the things that we do. But you make sure that you're in charge of your life. And as a business owner, I think the most prioritizable thing that we need to do to make sure that we're filling ourselves is making sure that we are running our businesses and the business isn't running us. I think that that is a tricky thing to play sometimes, but it's about creating healthy boundaries and creating an environment where you feel fulfilled and you know that it's okay and I can step away from this. So let's jump into these 5 buckets of self-care. We're just going to quickly glaze over them. So the first one is we're going to talk about our emotional self-care. Emotional self-care is the thought process that we all go through. We all go through these times where we're trying to organize or do things in our lives, and all of a sudden a negative thought will creep in. You're not good enough. You can't do this. This isn't going to work. You're going to fail. When that happens, the natural process that happens next is that our bodies react to that negative thought. We're going to now have a hunched body. We're going to now be going inside of ourselves. So we're not going to reach out to others. And then as the cycle continues, we're not going to be reaching our goals. We're going to continue to self-talk, negative talk, and we're just going to continue this cycle of negativity over and over and over again, and we won't have success. This is emotional self-care, is recognizing when you are in this vicious cycle and being able to cognitively reframe your thoughts and jump into a virtuous cycle, which is reframing that negative thought into a positive thought. You know what? I failed at this. Positive reframing is, you know what? That was really hard. I'm glad that I tried to do that. I'm going to have to try again, but at least I learned. Positive reframing is a tool that you can use in any type of situation. It takes a lot of practice, but the more that you practice it, the better you are. And the better you are, the more that you'll be able to reframe yourself and get out of that vicious cycle and be able to get into the virtuous cycle and be able to reframe your thoughts and have positivity in your life. Okay, the second bucket is spiritual self-care. Your spiritual self-care is literally connecting with you as a whole. I really feel like spiritual self-care, even if it's a religious denomination or not, there is a higher power, whether it's vibration, energy, God, you have a higher power in your life, and it is connecting with nature, with earth, with God, and realizing that there is a higher power. Realizing that you need to be able to look inside yourself, feel that sense of peace, and get inspiration. How do you gain spiritual, emotional health or self-care? You can go on walks, connect with nature. I think that nature is the most beautiful place and also the most grounding, spiritually enhancing place. It's in nature where I can go hiking on a mountain and I can get my best thoughts and inspiration. There is an energy that is indescribable in nature. So connecting with your spiritual self-care. The third bucket is your physical self-care. What you eat, how you move, and when you sleep affects everything in your life. These are important aspects that you need to take care of. You need to take care of these aspects in your life. And putting that as a priority, coming up with tools on how to prioritize those things is very crucial. And if you're able to do that, then you're able to really elevate your life to a whole other platform and be able to feel so much better physically, emotionally, and mentally. All right. And then number 4, your fourth bucket is going to be your social self-care. Social self-care, you need to be able to fill your bucket socially, whether that is calling your mom every day, which I really tried to do. I tried to talk to my mom every day, or a sibling, or things like that. That fills my social cup. I also hang out with my friends. I make my friends a priority. If I'm thinking about my friend, I hurry up and send her a quick text, let them know I'm thinking about her, let them know that they're special. Feeling that and having that cognitive energy and that connected energy with other people just builds you. And we need to fill that cup. And then the fifth one is intellectual self-care. Always learn. Don't stop learning. Always be willing to learn a new concept, a new skill, read a new book, try a new hobby, pick up an instrument. Always challenge yourself. Get out a puzzle. Do something that's going to give you a little bit of pause and give you some challenge so that you can be able to fill that cup. When you fill each 5 of these cups, and they are, one more time, your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, your social, and your emotional self-care buckets, you will be fulfilled and you will be able to achieve unsurmountable things because you'll be able to give of yourself in a way that you'll never have even imagined because your cup is filled. It's just like how on the airplane, they always say, put your oxygen mask on first. The reason why is because if you put your mask on first, you can help others. They want as many people to be successful in the case of an emergency as possible. And that means taking care of you first so that you can take care of others. So if you are struggling and you are having a hard time just understanding and grasping life at the moment, look inwards for a minute. Are your buckets being filled? Are you missing something? Look at all these buckets. These are all important. If you look at all of these buckets, which ones are you lacking in? Which ones could you be fulfilling a little bit more? So I have a 5-video series on each of these that I will be launching by the end of next week. And if you're interested in learning about how to fulfill your self-care buckets even more, you can reach out and I can get you a downloadable PDF, or I don't know if it's a PDF. What is a video file? A video file, the thing, I don't know. And then you can watch about how to do this. And I'm really excited to launch this. I'm really excited to help women and entrepreneurs to really succeed by fulfilling themselves and learning how to help others by filling themselves. So thanks, Marianne, for everything. And thank you for this opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much for coming here. And I know you have to rush off to your dance competition. So thank you. See, we have a bunch of busy women here who have made time to help and empower all of you. So thank you to, oh my gosh, I'm so blessed to have like the most amazing people around me. And these women are so amazing to have gifted us their time. So thank you so much, Bethany. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for everything, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. Bye.
So I had this idea about putting this out. So what I did was we created a book, or I created a book, and we all created a book. So all of the ladies that are speaking here today are all in a book, and there's a few others that just couldn't make it today because they're doing their own events or they're speaking at other events that have been booked for who knows how long. So I just wanted to share. Amanda will be coming on to join us. She is my editor, and she helped me put together this amazing book, which we were hoping was going to be out, but sometimes Amazon and Ingram takes a little while. So it's not quite yet ready for purchase. And so I wasn't able to have a copy in my hands, which is what I was hoping for. But I do have oh, great. I do have a picture of it. This is the first time I believe all the other ladies are seeing it because we wanted to keep it a secret until it was ready to launch. And so this is going to be our amazing book. It's part of the Self-Empowerment Reset series. And it is, of course, called Business Goddesses. And look at this beautiful cover. Isn't it stunning? Yes. In honor of women. Yes. This is exactly beautiful. And it's lovely and feminine and also powerful. So while we don't have a copy in our hands, we will be doing a bit of a launch later on. Once we are all approved, it won't be ready for another week or so. It's just the way sometimes it goes, and that's okay. You know, you have to roll with the punches and go with the flow. Sometimes it works in our favor, sometimes whatever. It still works. It's not, it's not that big of a deal. It's just, I had in mind that we would launch it here. And so it's all good. It's all good. So with that, I will introduce you to my wonderful editor and the girl who puts up with a lot of my craziness, which is I'm a big last minute girl. So I'm always like, oh, hey, Amanda, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And sometimes it's at 4 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes it's at 3 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes it's at 5. And she's like, Her famous line is, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'll take care of it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine is her favorite, I think. I think it's her favorite. I also call her Batwoman because she's also awake at the same crazy hours I am. So again, I can't stress enough how many of our conversations actually take place at 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning, which are ungodly hours. I don't think anyone should be up at that hour. I think we should all be sleeping, but we can't. So here we are. We can't because we have 6,000 ideas going through our head pretty much at any given time. I just came back from from an APL Go trip in Dominican Republic, and Amanda also sells the same product. And so we're talking, and I'm telling her, and I'm showing her the actual pictures. And then, of course, now I'm all excited about the hotel and the resort, because it really was a really wonderful resort. I just want to give a quick shout out: Barcelo Bavaro Beach Hotel in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. One of the best resorts I've ever been at. Like, really, seriously, so amazing, with wonderful, friendly people. The people of Dominican Republic are wonderful. And I want to say a public thank you. So big shout out. They did not pay me for that. It's just, I really had a great time. And we're talking, and she says, sounds like a great place for an author's retreat, because we have discussed an author's retreat before, because I'm a big retreat holder. And I thought, yeah, we should do, like and I'm like, she's right. How did I not think of that? So she's like the other half of my brain. She'll have an idea. I'll have an idea. And this is what goes on at 4 a.m, just in case you're all wondering what I do with my life. So with that, I am going to introduce you to my favorite editor, and she is wonderful. And I really want her to tell you a little about herself and just how wonderful she actually is. So Amanda, take it away. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. And some of you might know me, some of you might not, but I'm Amanda, and I am the owner of Magnetic Publishing. And I am an author as well. I am a busy mom. I have 3 sons. My eldest is 17, and then I have twins who are 5, who are very high energy little boys. So they're always fun. And I do editing, publishing, book writing myself. And I also do APL Go with Marianne, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite products for health and beauty. They're great products, so I love those. And yeah, I stay up a lot, and we definitely have a lot of conversations at 4 o'clock in the morning often. So yeah, a little bit about myself. I've been doing book writing since about 2017. Of course, I've always written my whole life. But I decided in 2023 I was going to become a business owner. And of course, with business, there comes all kinds of struggles and learning. So I have been working with some amazing people over the years who have kind of helped me along the way, because I knew pretty much nothing when I first started out. I just knew I had a goal, I had a vision, and this is what I wanted to do. So I've been very blessed to be able to connect with different people who have been able to support me and my journey. And yeah, in the future, I think I really want to do these author retreats with Marianne, because they're going to be just so much fun. So yeah, we're hoping to get the book. It'll be available, I think, for the 14th and the 15th for Business Goddesses. So that one I'm really excited about. And then I just launched one of my own books, Love, Lust, and Limerence, which is a book about relationships. I write a lot of self-development, self-help, and I like putting together anthologies. So that's the other thing that I love doing. And yeah, I just want to wish everybody a happy Women's Day. And one of the things I talk about often is how hard it is to be a woman in business, because a lot of people don't realize, but women make up only 30% of leadership roles, and that's across the board everywhere. So it's a very difficult journey, but if you are doing it, it's pretty amazing, because there isn't a huge lot of us, but the ones that are out there, they're doing a great job. So I just want to say, yeah, keep doing your thing and building your business and supporting yourself with women like Marianne. And there's been multiple women here who have spoke today, who are also great leaders. And what I've learned with my journey with business is that nothing ever goes as planned, but you have to do the best with what you have. And that's why my line is always, it's fine, because you know what? It always turns out to be fine. So I try not to let things get to me too much. And if I'm stuck and I'm not sure what to do or what my next move is going to be, I always consult with other women in leadership who are, good at what they do, and they're experts, and they might have more knowledge than me. So I've had to learn to build my network and surround myself with strong women who are able to kind of support me and be there for me. And that's what the main thing is in leadership, is just showing up for other people and just kind of, leading and recognizing that it is a big journey of growth and self-development. And of course, I had to just get used to being okay with, okay, this didn't go as planned, but what else can I do? And then, if I'm really stuck, then I know it's okay to reach out to people, and they'll give their best advice. So I know it is really hard, especially with people in business who have kids. It can be hard with time management, and then, kind of learning to get yourself into consistent routines and all of those things. So, I had a lot of learning and growing to do, but it's been a great journey. And I just want to say thank you to Marianne for having me here today, and connecting me with an awesome team of ladies at APL Go. They're another group of awesome ladies that are very supportive, and I'm really grateful to have them as well. So, yeah, as long as you have a network full of people who are working on similar things or the same things as you, you can really get through anything. But yeah, it does take time to build that network and be very clear about what you're building, who your audience is, and kind of where you want to be. And I use probably the most known goal building skill, which is the SMART goals. And so that's what I use, and that's what I teach other people. And it works really well, especially for women in business who have kids and are super busy. So that's generally my go-to, is sticking to my goals.
So here's absolute proof. So Amanda, would you mind sharing terribly how old you are?
I am 37.
So 37 years old and 3 kids, 2 twin boys that are 4 years old. For anyone who has kids and has boys, y'all know what little boys are like. And now there's 2 of them. So 2 plus a third one from, earlier, plus a partner, plus, parents and grandmothers, and taking care of stuff, and running a business, and doing a side gig with the same supplements that I do, and putting up with my crazy schedule and my requirements and whatnot. She does have her own publishing company. I considered her to be a part of mine as well. So, and we both share the same coach. So we've both been on some level taught the same way. And we will be doing, so just so you all know, we will be doing a retreat for authors. There will be one beginner one, which means that within a 3 to 4 day period of a retreat, possibly in Dominican Republic, in Punta Cana, in this wonderful resort that I was just at. And that will be by the end of the 3-4 days, because we haven't decided if it's going to be 3 or 4 days. It'll probably be 4 days and 3 nights. We will have you accomplish writing a chapter for an anthology. And then we will do at some point, and maybe we'll see about back to back. I don't know about that just yet. I have a lot of travel this year, so I have to be careful because I have a dog, not a huge amount. She also has a dog, by the way. She has a full house. Okay. If that girl gets a chance to get out of her house, that's going to be amazing. So yeah, we will be doing that. And then we'll do an advanced one where you write a short book. So once you've done this with us, you can do the advanced one. And that may also take place in Dominican, because that resort was amazing and it's perfect. And the weather was absolutely wonderful. The water's gorgeous. So if you are interested, please connect either with myself or with Amanda. And yes, we will definitely be doing retreat for writing because we both love it. It's a passion of ours. And, the supplements, which we will talk about a little bit later on, are equally as passionate for us because they have made us feel good. And we both have these wonderful necklaces that help our energy stay balanced. Yep, she has one too. And so we did want to share that with you. So thank you so much, Amanda, and stay with us if you can. We also have, oh gosh, it's such a busy day. It's so wonderful. And I'm not sure, let me see what time it is, 10:14. Dr. Andrea Adams has joined us. She is in the process of traveling. So look at these wonderful women. They have done such amazing things to be here. Really, I mean, I feel so blessed. I have the best women here, and they go out of their way to hang out with me. So if you're ready to speak, Dr. Andrea, please let me know, because it is. Are you good? Yes, she is. She's
I am.
traveling with her husband, and he's been kind enough to stop so she can speak with us. So, Dr. Andrea, please take it away and tell the world about yourself. Thank you.
Well, thank you much, Marianne. Of course, it's always a blessing to be able to be on, especially on International Women's Day. I don't know why that made me emotional. Woohoo! Party for us. It's kind of funny when you think about the world, and women. Actually, I'd love it if you guys would drop a word on the Facebook post there in the chat that describes like the most powerful woman that you know or can think of. Somebody, acknowledge somebody who's really made a difference to you. So I'm Dr. Andrea Adams Miller. I'm the CEO and founder of the Red Carpet Connection, and I'm a neuroscience and a publicist. And what I really care about most is how people are wired in their brains and how we can wire their brains differently so that they can be seen, heard, and understood by the right people at the right time. And, one of those, when we think about women, wow, on celebrating International Women's Day, it's an honor to celebrate the brilliance and strength and resilience of women all across the world. But if you go even further, let's think about the subconscious scripts that women have passed down through the years. I was very fortunate in my life to do a Women of History presentation. So those of you who know me know I'm a huge theater person. I've been in over 65 productions. But one of the things that was my greatest joy was when we wrote these scripts of famous women in history and then acted them out, like Elizabeth Dent Grant and I couldn't play Shirley Temple because I wasn't small enough or tiny enough, because she was a tiny woman even in her as an adult. So I played her agent and took my daughter along and curled her hair, and I would go into schools and act as if I was this woman. I've done Margaret Mead, Mary Lincoln Todd, and these women, they had such amazing stories of overcoming the greatest of challenges. So as you think of those women on Facebook to tell us about them so they could be honored, now tell it so we can give a couple words or a sentence or two about why they should be celebrated. When we look back, did you know that your brain is wired to believe the stories that you bodies remember our past, but situations. So, as a neuroscientist, see the women limit us. Emotional. You're too ambitious. You know that needs right now, because when women step into their power, we transform lives, families, businesses, and global economies. In fact, I just got a Facebook memory at the very beginning of COVID, so this was 5 years ago, I was in Egypt when COVID hit and all the countries were shutting down, and I didn't know if I was going to get home. But I was with over 100 women for the Women's Economic Forum, talking about how we were changing a global economy and what we were doing. So women have really made their mark. And so it's time for us to go ahead and be too much and be too loud and be too dramatic and be too pretty and too much, because we deserve to do that. And it's our time to step up. And I would love to do like a little flip the script, like a little reset. So I'd like us all to take a really deep breath. So, and then repeat after me really loud. I am powerful. My voice shapes the world. I am the architect of my legacy. I am me. And that's why I do what I do. I love to help people who are high level thinkers who do so much and do so many things. The change makers, we wire themselves so that they know that they are powerful and that their voice does shape the world, and they are the architect of their own legacy for themselves and for their families, because they're the role models. And so when we can rewire their minds for success and release so we don't, let me just dispel a myth with neuroscience. Neuroscience, we don't make those memories go away. It's not like the new uh, um, Ariana's new song. People have been talking about it on different platforms, like where she goes to some clinic and has her brain erased. That is part of her music video. That actually doesn't happen. We don't erase your brain, but what we do is allow you still have the memory, but you don't have to live in the memory. There's a difference on we're saying, oh, I remember being really sad, and then being, oh my God, I was so sad. And being in that emotion. Of course, I was acting there, but you know, often uh, people say that they don't want to have any NLP or hypnosis because they don't want to forget, and that's what I want to dismiss for you. You're not going to forget anything. You're just not, and you're not going to forget that you had pain or sorrow, but you're not going to feel it anymore. You don't have to be in that emotion. Now you can choose to be in it and draw that back up if you need it, like if you're in a play or a musical. But you don't have to have that trauma emotion anymore. And that's what's really cool about what we can do. So I challenge you today to, you know, what's that one outdated belief or story that's in your head that no longer serves you, that you can drop, release, and let it go, because that doesn't serve you anymore. So what doesn't serve you? Let's figure out how you can drop it and let it go, because women are here to lead the future. And although there are studies that say that people can't multitask, we all know as women that's total BS. Okay, yeah, maybe you can't do difficult long division and recite four score and 7 years ago at the same time. But we certainly know what it's like to balance a checkbook while bouncing a baby on our knee, or to make supper at the same time that we're feeding a child, or fold laundry while we're listening to a news station, or learning a program, or an audio book or something like that. We're multitaskers and we can do anything. So as women who are leading the future, we are the future. So let's take our hearts and intelligence and resilience and everything we do together, and stop playing small and start playing big and legendary. So I'm Dr. Andrea Adams Miller. Thank you so much, Marianne, for letting me be here and sharing a little bit of fun and whatever love. And happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Dr. Andrea. She is a really great human being, also not just an exceptional businesswoman who also juggles. Oh my gosh, I can't even, I don't even know. I way more than I do, and I do a lot. So just on that note, thank you so much. We did have some technical difficulties. We lost you. We lost the video, and then we had some cutting in and out, but that's just to be expected with virtual anything. And so thank you for taking the time to stop on the road and chatting with us, and throwing some great nuggets out there for us. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and say thank you to your husband also who stopped. And with that, it is almost 10:30. I'm not sure if Stephanie is ready. If she is, we will hear from Stephanie. Oh, look at this beauty. So Stephanie is also another fellow Canadian, but she is on the other side of Canada. Just so you all know, it's a 5-hour plane ride to where Stephanie lives from me. So I'm in Toronto. She is in Vancouver. Canada is huge. And that's not even all of Canada. So with that, I will stay quiet now, and I will let you listen to the most amazing and beautiful Stephanie Brandolini. I love saying her name. It's one of my favorites. Stephanie, take it away. And thank you for being here. Oops. Okay, you have to start talking so that you start showing up here.
Yeah. Hey, thank you very much, Marianne. Hi, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. Yeah, so as Marianne was saying, I'm over here in Vancouver, Canada, on the West Coast. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here and share a bit about myself and a bit about, really what it means to be empowered and how I love to share how, I've empowered myself and helped others and really just kind of radiate that message along the way because I struggled a lot in my life and still sometimes do with, confidence and with not feeling good enough. I think that wound of not feeling good enough that's like the real pandemic, this like unworthiness thing. And, after a while of like just thinking that that was the way I was, I started to dig deeper into like, why do I feel that way? Like, what is actually beneath the surface of these things? So before I get into it, I'll just kind of introduce myself a bit more so we're not total strangers. Yeah, so my name's Stephanie Brandolini, Vancouver, Canada. I am first and foremost a writer. I am an award-winning screenwriter. I'm a two-time international best-selling author. I am a filmmaker, and my big dream that I am working towards with my businesses and with all the income streams I got going on is I am working on building a creative empire, a place where creatives and musicians and visionaries can come together and bring stories and art and music to life that, would not have been created otherwise. Stories, especially with meaning, with, that are consciously led and that are, around spirituality and faith and like really exploring like what it means to be human and, what we're really here for, our purposes, the divinity that's all around and within us and, really unearthing that what I call our God-given or divine dreams within us and our superpowers. Because we all have superpowers, you guys, and what I've discovered is that they are hidden in the places that we really don't want to look at. The gold is in the layer of the dragon, if you like. And I want to talk to you guys briefly today about a system that I have developed, as I've been on my journey and doing speaking engagements and such. This program, this system sort of downloaded into me as I was preparing for a speaking event one time. And I'm like, okay, this is what I am meant to share right now. And I discovered this because I discovered that within what, that thing that you are running from, that thing that you think might be your greatest weakness, that thing that you might be ashamed to admit even to yourself, within that thing lies your hidden superpower, your greatest strength, your gold. And I've called this talk that I do and this program Weakness to Warrior, but because this is International Women's Day, I'm going to say Weakness to Warrioress, Remix Fear and Rise. Because this is said in so many ways, guys, but it is fear. It is just different variations of fear that keep us from, our divine destiny, our dreams, our higher purpose. And before I get into it, I like to go through a bit of a breathing exercise because breathing is going to help soften us into this. I use with people and myself this thing that I developed called a 7-part breathing exercise. So, breathe in for 7 and hold for 7 and breathe out for 7. Like breathe all the way out. I would usually do that a bit longer with people, but for the sake of time, we're just going to do it once. So this system that like seriously, like I co-created, I believe, with what I call God, you know, divine energy, source. I believe that all came together working in co-creation with this source. And what I developed was a way to remix fear and rise from it. So, because I'm a writer, I love to use, you know, letters and words to share meaning. And fear, you know, is FEAR, right? So the system I've developed is called the AFER system. So AFER. So A stands for accept. So we got to accept where we are so we can shift it. And then F is for face, because you got to face the thing that's coming up, the fear that's coming up, and see what's beneath it. And E is for embrace. You get to embrace what's beneath this fear, this part of you that is coming up to be healed. And then R is for rise, because you now get to rise with this part of yourself that you have faced, accepted, and healed, and go towards that higher calling that you are designed for. So I'm just going to briefly go through each of these steps because, you know, there's this thing about fear, like, you know, it's everything you want on the other side of it, right? Overcome your fear, face your fear. But no one really talks about the little steps in between, you know, because it's not just a one and done thing. And it's not just like, okay, we're done with fear. So in the A step, the accepting step, this one is really important to be like the foundation. And it's where I have really brought in stillness, which is not easy that nowadays. Like we're in a society, in a world that is very fast paced, very like production driven and hustle driven, which doesn't have to be a bad thing, but too much of a good thing, you know, leads to burnout, right? And especially as women, I honestly, I used to be kind of too much in my masculine energy, trying to do everything myself, trying to prove myself and all this kind of stuff. But really settling into the receiving nature of the feminine, the divine feminine nature is really going to help you, you know, resource yourself for one thing, and, you know, really be in flow with what you're doing. So you're not burning out, you're not doing too much, you're not overworking, you're in a flow of enough because you are enough. So in the acceptance phase, I've really, I use scripture a lot to help me with a lot of what I do. And not in a religious sense, you guys, it's more of a spiritual relationship with God. But one scripture that's really helped me is, you know, be still and know that I am God. And that can apply to yourself too, because you have that godhood within you. So, you know, just be still and know that everything that's happening is for you. So you get to accept it. Like whatever this thing is that's coming up for you, maybe it's being unworthy, maybe it's you don't think you're doing good enough, you failed at something, whatever it is, let that come up, like let it be. And, you know, you'll often see that it's not even as bad as you thought it was because, you know, fear can make you think that there is so much more than what it is. And then when you really accept that it's there, it starts to dissipate. So accepting in this still space is the first step. And then we get into the facing step. Now, this is a step where you got to stay still, and, you know, really just know that it's all for you still, because this is the part where a lot of you is going to want to run away. But facing whatever it is that's coming up is the next step that's going to take you to the next one. So in the facing step, I'm a very visual person, so I always do this for myself and the people I'm working with is like, you know, even close your eyes and imagine this, what's coming up, the stuff that you're becoming, like that you've accepted, is like forming into a form, usually a form of yourself. And it's going to be like a past version of yourself. Maybe it's you from yesterday, maybe it's you 5 years old, whatever it is that comes up, like let that version of you come up and like just be sitting across from this version of you. And this version of you might not be very happy to see you because, you know, this is a part of you that you have likely suppressed, you know, like kept locked in the basement kind of thing. So let her come up, let whatever it is happen. You know, she might be kind of angsty, might be kind of not happy to see you, but let her come up and really look her in the eyes and accept her. Keep that acceptance going from the first step as you face her. And then it's like, what's behind her? Oops, my hand is raised now because I put my hands up. What is actually behind her, like those layers behind her, right? So look beneath, and keep looking because, you know, these are often deep wounds that come up. And the deeper you go, the higher you're going to rise. So keep going, whatever it is. Because, you know, the behaviors, the fears, whatever it is that, isn't serving you right now, it's not the surface thing, it's what's behind it. So, yeah, just keep feeling into those layers, and you'll often see that whatever this version of you is projecting into your life or is making happen that's not working, it's stemming from some kind of trauma, some kind of event, some kind of broken belief usually that has exacerbated in your mind. I think of it like, we had something happen, and then this thing has caused us to act in a certain way repeatedly for decades even maybe. So it's like this wound, this festering thing that you don't even realize is there until you start going through these steps. So whatever that is for you, for me, it was all in the unworthiness. One of the biggest things I've overcome is a really bad eating disorder. And, when I looked at that beneath the surface, it was all about control, all about trying to be perfect and prove my worth and all that. So I had to heal a lot of parts of myself, not just one, that was stuck in that. So again, keep the acceptance going, keep the love going. Love is paramount through all of this. And let those layers come up, because it's in these layers that there is actually gold for you to receive and rise. So we're not there yet, though. We're going into the embracing step. So this part of you, this wounded part, this little child, whatever it is, you get to embrace this part of you. And this is actually the most beautiful part for me. Because yeah, like I used to really live a lot in fear, and the fear was really rooted in, sort of, not sort of, but a big not accepting of myself. There was a part of me that really thought that I hated myself for a long time. And that's not really true, but because of the patterns and the behaviors going on for so long, that's what it felt like. So loving this part of yourself is like the ultimate key. So like literally embracing, like you can even like hug yourself physically as this is happening, and let this part of you be embraced. And again, she might not be happy, she might be squirming around, might be like, I don't trust you, but just keep embracing her. And this is a visualization that I always use for myself and the people that I'm helping through this, is as you're embracing her, like just keep holding on to her and keep giving her love and acceptance and facing these things with her. And imagine that she's wearing like a shroud or like a cloak of shadows, like a really dark cloak that's all covering her up. And as you're hugging her, loving her, embracing her, this shroud starts to fall away, maybe be ripped off, maybe be disintegrated. And as it does, this light, this blinding light that's within her starts to radiate out and fully lets go of the shroud of shadows. And she starts to emerge this light, which is the gift that you need to move forward into your next level. And it's often the opposite of what was going on. Because like for me, I thought I hated myself. Actually, turns out I really love myself. I thought I was awkward around people, thought I couldn't really work with people, but turns out I really love people, love connecting, you know. And even I used to think that I didn't want to speak in front of people. I used to hate the sound of my voice, yet here I am now an empowerment speaker. You know what I mean? So it's like this dichotomous dance that we're doing with these parts of ourselves. And it's often the opposite, often underneath all the like not wanting to, or like, I can't do this. You actually can, and you can do it greater than you could ever have imagined. So now with this part of yourself that is, you've healed her by embracing her and you've accepted her, now you're like a team, and the shadows have been let go of, the light of her is being embraced into you. And actually imagine this, imagine like the light that you have unveiled, like integrating into you, and you become one. And now you get to rise. Now you get to rise with the power that she has given you. And the rising step, you guys, it's not just like you take off like a rocket and you're like, okay, bye, this is all good. You're often going to fall a little bit in the rise. And that's okay. That's part of it. Just know that you're never failing and keep looking up. I use faith a lot to really propel me forward. And, in this rising step, just know that like the faith, your belief in yourself, your belief in your higher power, this new self that's come into you, keep going with that faith and keep looking up. Because if you look down, you're going to falter, you're going to probably fall. And if you fall, it's okay. You can get back up, you can go through the steps again. But another thing about this rising step is, it might sound counter, but it's actually super powerful, is surrendering into the rise. Because I believe we're rising into like our higher calling that, God, source, universe, divine power has given us. And it's surrendering to it that's going to give us the strength because, we have our own strength for sure. But when you surrender, it's like you let go and open up for like the superpower that's within you to really fuel you. So that's the rise part. That's kind of a brief overview of all these steps and how to find your warrioress strength within what you once thought was your greatest weakness. And I love to talk about this. I love to write about this. I love writing fiction, fantasy fiction and stuff, but I also write self-development books. And I run a couple businesses in the health and wellness space because you guys, if we don't have our health, we can't really do any of this other stuff. So, if this resonated with you, I would love to chat with you, love to hear about it. And again, just so grateful to be speaking here amongst all these amazing women. And thank you again, Miss Marianne, for having me on. And yes, I am also in the Business Goddesses book that's going to be coming out soon. I'm super excited for that. So stay tuned for all that to come out. There's going to be a lot of promotion around that. And I'm really excited for you to read, of course, my chapter, but there's a bunch of chapters in there from all of us women for you to serve you on your path to your higher calling and to aid you in this empowerment reset that is going on right now. So I am also a big Star Wars fan, and I like to mix that with my faith. So I always like to sign off with, may the force of faith be with you all. Thank you very much.
Wonderful? That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Stephanie. You're awesome. Stephanie and I also met in the Connected Leaders Academy. Jose would otherwise be on all of my summits, but he's not a female. And so for this one, we had to exclude him. And so, yeah, I was just showing the book again because we just didn't get around to getting it published in time. And that's okay. I mean, as long as we are in there. But isn't the cover gorgeous? Like, it's just stunning. I just love it. I don't know. Anyways, I'm so excited.
I love that cover. I can't wait to see it in person.
Me too. I can't wait to get the book and yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. Anyways, and that's thanks to all of us. And then of course, Amanda, who did the final touches on it. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining. Stephanie and I connected, like I said, in the Connected Leaders Academy. And that was, that's a really great place. And then, she came to one of the presentations that we did with Bank Code, the Code Breaker with Sherry Tree, and she joined Bank. And so now we're business partners for sure. And then of course we're business partners in the gold and silver coins, because, we like coins, we like gold, we're girls. Hello.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And yes, we both care about your health and we love you all. Stephanie, thank you so much for taking the time. It is incredibly early where Stephanie is.
Yes, I'm not a morning person, but I get up early for things that mean something to me. So thank you again for having me. And thanks everyone for listening. Have a beautiful Women's Day.
And thank you so much. And I believe are you speaking at some other summits as well? Like today's a big speaking day for a lot of us women.
Yeah, I have another event coming up, and then I'm actually going to take some time in nature. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do some
That's
things.
wonderful. I don't get that until about 4:00, but it'll be good. That's beautiful. Yeah, we both actually, you live close to Stanley Park, and I have a very large park that's close to me, so that once we're done, I take my dog because, he's been waiting for me patiently. I took him out in the morning, which is fantastic. So thank you again, Stephanie, so much. And thank you for getting up so early. This is a shortened summit from what I typically do, only because I still have some speaking engagements and I have some other summits that I need to be on. So thank you so much. So with that, now I have here Karen and Rosemary with me. And I think we will let Karen, if she's ready, we'll let Karen talk to us first. So Karen is also a partner with us in the APL Go, but she is also my social media girl. So she is the wonderful lady. When we finish these, I just immediately send it over to her, and she does all kinds of editing and video clipping and puts our branding on, and all the speakers get their own little speech with her putting you know, the branding on there, and she does all kinds of video magic and many, many other things. And so with that, I will let you listen to Karen Hewitt. Karen, tell us. And Karen, I don't know if she's going to say this, but I'm just going to say she's a single mom of 5 kids, and one is a special needs. So for all you women who think you can't do things, 5 kids, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of kids. Take it away, Karen.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Marianne. And you're you're testing my new internet right now. We moved on Wednesday and found out we were in a dead zone. So this is the 4th internet provider we've gone through in 72 hours. So lots of fun. Oh my gosh. So I'm really excited that, I got to meet Marianne, and yes, we met through one of our health supplements that we take, but we had the conversation based on social media. And I want to really express something to the women out there on Women's Day, because a lot of the times we have these pressures that are put on us that we're supposed to be a certain way, that we're supposed to only do certain things, that how we act, how we behave, what we do, how we spend our time is dictated by somebody else. I can guarantee a lot of women, they have that feeling like, oh my gosh, am I going to do enough? Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be able to achieve enough? And what happens is we get in our own head, and we mess with ourselves. I think we do a lot of this to ourselves because we have this expectation. And as Marianne said, I have 5 kids. I had 5 kids in 8 years. So they're really close together, and they're a lot of work. They're all worth it. And because I homeschool them, I have my own business and everything like this. The biggest question I always get is, how do I have time? How do you get to do this? How do you get to put this on your plate? How do you get to handle this? You have so many ideas. You're doing so many things. Well, one, I think all women have a superpower. And that is, you can put things on our plate, and you know what? We handle it and we deal with it. The trick is, find things that you love. Find things that pour into you, and find things that make you feel better about yourself, about what you're doing, about the time you're spending. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Guess what? You're in control of how you use those 24 hours. You can do it by running a business. You can do it by being involved in something that means something to you. I work with nonprofits. I'm on the board of a nonprofit as a volunteer. It means something to me, so I pour into it. You all have that. But the one thing you have to remember, and I think this is the hardest lesson for any woman to hear, guess what? If you don't take care of you, none of that's going to matter. If you don't look after yourself, I don't care. You could put 24 hours a day into working, become a multi-billionaire, but if you don't take care of you, if you don't have that time where you can de-stress, look after your health, pour into yourself with self-care, self-love, and attention, you're going to burn out, and it's going to be extremely debilitating, and it'll be harder for you to come back. So one of the things I've learned, and I wanted to share this because I learned this as being in business, in the social media, and also I'm neurodivergent, or I call it neurosparkly, because, it's all these little sparkles are going up ahead, and they say most entrepreneurs have some level of neurodivergence or neurosparkly. And I can go, because I get so many ideas, and run around and want to do it all and get all burnt out and all, stress. Think about the fact that you're allowed to say no. Not only that, but what you need to do, and this is the biggest tip I've ever learned, and I want to share it with you, is schedule yourself as if you would schedule a client or a business partner. And a few weeks ago, because I'm dealing with lots of health challenges, which, they're not pretty, they're very severe. And what I got told was, start looking at things like my supplements, start looking at things like what I eat, start looking at things that I do, like exercise, not as something to do, but almost like a prescription. That if you want to do better and you want to be healthy and you want to handle your business, you have to spend those few minutes and decide what's going to make you the better person for yourself. Is that you have to schedule, hey, I'm going to work out? Is that you have to schedule meditation? Is that you have to put on your phone a reminder to take a supplement that makes you feel better? Is that you have to get an app that dings at you every 2 hours or every 30 minutes to drink some water? Make yourself that priority. And that is how you're really going to build that whole business goddess persona. Because there are a lot of women out there that are killing it in business and then going home and completely obliterated within themselves. They're collapsing because they're not doing the things that they need to do to look after themselves. And if that's making sense to you, I want you to just take a moment and breathe it in and think, hey, what can I do for myself to make myself better today? Not only that, a lot of the times you're going to be told you have to do things in a certain way. One of the things I'm most proud of is I'm actually Harvard certified in disruptive strategy, because I don't believe that there is one right way for any one person that will completely match everyone else. You are all individual. And if something works for you, guess what? It doesn't have to work for everyone else the exact same way. But if you're not taking the chance on trying things that will make your life better, if you're not looking at this and going, I should give something a try, or something's offered to you as an opportunity, and you're looking at it going, oh, well, that's just too much. I don't have time. Well, is it that you don't have time, or it's too much, or is it that you're afraid and worried that it's going to impact you? What about the chance it's going to impact you in a positive light? What if you saying yes to something is going to build you, is going to improve you, is going to guide you, is going to give you community, is going to give you friendship, is going to give you the opportunity to breathe and be together with yourself? So I think one of my biggest thing I want to share with you, just as a general, being empowered in your business, is you're in charge of it. You can do it how you want and how you please. Don't try and do it in the very masculine way where you push through and go into that complete hustle culture where you just drain yourself because gotta keep going, gotta keep going, gotta keep going. Like, if there's a woman on here who has never felt that, like, I'm so jealous, because sometimes we wake up in the morning, we're like, oh my gosh, I got 10,000 things to do. But do this and take care of yourself. Really. And don't be afraid to say yes. And at the same time, don't be afraid to say no. And I'll guarantee that if you start tuning into your intuition and gut, you'll know exactly which answer to give. You'll know whether to say yes or no to something. And if something's like, oh, I don't know, maybe, I'm going to tell you the hugest secret sauce in the entire world. If it's a maybe, and it's a maybe as in I'm curious and I'm kind of thinking, oh, maybe this is, I don't know, maybe this is a good thing, then that's a yes. And if it's, oh, I don't know, maybe, no, maybe, that's a no. So your maybes are not maybes, the yeses are no, depending on how they make you feel. If you've got a little curiosity and excitement and like, oh my gosh, this might make me feel great, let's say that maybe's a yes. If that maybe makes you feel like you want the floor to open up and suck you down and never let go, and there's no tingles or excitement, then maybe's a no. But take care of yourself, take care of your health, and do the things that you need to do to make yourself better. And take a chance on things, whether it be meditation, whether it be exercise, whether it be a new, diet, maybe it be friendships, community. Maybe it's looking at different things that you can supplement with your life to make you feel better and do better and grow better. I want to give you permission to take that chance on yourself, because you are far more capable than you ever give yourself credit for. And I think most women, that's what we're worried about. Can we? Are we enough? Can we handle this? More often than not, the answer is yes. And every time, yes, you are enough. And I bet you can handle it. As Marianne said, 5 kids, short period of time, own business. running through all this, it's a lot. It's like my plate is overflowing in heat. But I'll still say yes to things because I know the benefits and how it will do. And it's not because it's going to overflow my plate. We've got this natural gift to make our plate bigger as women. But we also have the ability, and we should take the ability to have that dessert afterwards, which is that me time, that self-care time, that self-awareness time. So have your meal, enjoy it thoroughly. It's okay if more is on there. If you can take, if you want to eat it, you eat it. But always leave room for your dessert, which is you. So that's what I want to leave you with, is that you are so capable. But you should enjoy it and take care of yourself.
That's right. That is correct. Thank you for saying that. I'm glad somebody spoke about that. It's so important to take time for ourselves, because aren't we so wonderful at putting ourselves last, right? So yes, it is so important. And it's not really even a choice. It's like super, super important for life. Because if you can't function, I mean, if I'm tired up here doing this, how am I going to enjoy it? And if I don't enjoy it, who's going to watch? You know what I mean? Like, people can feel the energy, and I love what I do. And I at 63, I only want to do what I love. I think that should be the rule for any age, but I don't, you know, when I was 20, you're starting. So you do a couple of things because you need to get here. You need to go here. You need to, you know, you're new to the company. You got to do what you got to do. But no, it's just ridiculous. If I'm not loving it, I'm not doing it. I don't know about you guys, but that's my rule. So thank you so much, Karen, for taking, gosh, talk about a busy mom, eh? Like 5 kids, and she's neurodivergent, and she has a special needs child, and she's a social media guru, and works and manages to handle all of this. Like, how wonderful. Like, these women, we need to really pay tribute to ourselves, all of us. Like, we're so amazing. It's crazy. I love it. Thank you so much, Karen. Karen lives in, are you still in Arizona, or did you move out?
No, I'm still in Arizona. I moved to a place where I didn't realize it's the middle of the desert. It's like a 6-mile dirt road to get to the house. So I'm moving again in 30 days because it's too far out.
Oh my gosh. So amazing. I love Arizona. I mean, if I could live anywhere over there and we were allowed, I think Arizona would be my place. I love Flagstaff and that whole Payson area. Like, it's a little bit cooler. I don't do so well with that much heat. Otherwise, I would go to Scottsdale, but that's a bit much for me. But thank you so much. And I hope you have a beautiful day, and happy International Women's Day. And with that, thank you, honey. And with that, I will give you Rosemary. Rosemary Geese is also a fairly regular young lady on my summits. She has spoken before, and today she's going to tell you a little bit about herself and some of what she does. And she's going to give us some testimonials about the amazing supplements, because it's time for us to start speaking about these outstanding supplements that we have. And both Rosemary and Amanda and Karen and some other people that couldn't make it. Again, it's such a busy day for all of us, but these actually, these are kind of cool, right? Blue and blue. Each one is different. One's for the liver and one's for blood sugar. So anyway, so with that, I'm actually going to let Rosemary speak, because I believe she has to also go somewhere. So we're all going somewhere today, right? So thank you so much, Rosemary, for taking the time to come out here, and go right ahead. Take it away.
Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are coming from. And sounds like we've got quite an international group today. So that's fantastic. I'm really excited and happy to be here, and for many, many different reasons. But on the subject of business goddesses, we are all business goddesses. You know, we come together with so many hats. I can't even begin to tell you how many hats I wear, but we all have multiple hats. We're doing multiple things, and I don't think we give ourselves enough credit. And I have some really strong passions, and one of those is around women and empowerment, women and entrepreneurship. And my focus is in around, excuse me, my voice is starting to go. My focus is in around financial security and health and wellness, of course, too, as well, both of which are extremely near and dear to my heart. I've been in the finance and real estate industry for a little over 25 years. And I have a major passion of helping women to help them achieve that financial freedom. Because like many of us, myself included, we were brought up to think small, to depend on other people for that financial freedom or for that growth or for expanding and building. We were never taught to talk about money, about finances, or whatever your dreams and wishes are. It just wasn't part of our vocabulary. And you certainly never talked about money or finances with other people. So it was something you kept inside. But as a mortgage professional, I saw this every day in my business, in my practice, where women believed that financial freedom just was not achievable without the support of someone else, mostly men, or fathers or husbands or brothers. And they firmly believed it. And some women still believe it to this day that you can't buy real estate on your own. Well, let me tell you, ladies, that is not the case. In fact, the stats on it, and I don't have it in front of me, but single women far surpass single men purchasing real estate for home ownership and even for investing. More women today are investing in real estate for investment purposes more than ever before. And that's a beautiful thing. And so part of what I do is I work with my women and I educate them. I talk to them about what their needs and wants are, how to figure it out from, I get ladies come in to say to me, I don't even know where to begin. Like, who do I talk to? How do I afford to buy a home? I have small income or whatever the case may be, or they may have a good income and they're business owners, but they still don't believe in their minds that they can do this. Well, I have changed that belief for many, many women, and I've helped them achieve that financial goal and surpass it. I am a 3-time best-selling author in women empowerment, women entrepreneurship, and I'm absolutely thrilled and awesome to say that I'm coming out in this newest book that's going to be introduced soon on business goddesses. So that's really exciting, and I look forward to that, Marianne. Thank you very much. But the other piece of that is self-care. And for a lot of women, we don't take care of ourselves the way we should. We take care of everybody else. We wear the 15 million hats that are expected of us, being women. Maybe it's bringing up children, maybe it's household, maybe it's getting a job to support your family's income, all of those things. And we tend to leave ourselves to last. And over the years, I am a perfect case of that. I was so busy with helping other people, I was neglecting my own health. So I had a lot of health concerns around different things that were popping up in my health. And, trying different things, doing different things, try and help that. And one of the things that I've learned to realize is that if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. And I had the feeling of imposter syndrome. Here I am telling other people how to do stuff or whatever, and I wasn't doing it myself, and I wasn't succeeding myself the way I should have been. About 2 years ago now, I think approximately 2 years ago, I too was introduced to the APL Go. And, and a lot of women are going to say, you know what? I've tried everything. I've gone on supplements. I've gone on shakes and all of these other different things, and none of them really ever worked. I too have done the same thing. I've tried many things and many of them haven't worked. So I went into it with the idea of, okay, I'll give it a shot, see how it works, and go from there. Well, I have to tell you that my story turned around quite a bit. That not only did my health change and turn around, but now I'm able to help other people, particularly when it comes to entrepreneurship and helping other women grow. Like I mentioned, I went into it with skepticism, but I thought, give it a shot. And there's so many different products that come out with the APL Go. And they target different areas of the body, 100% natural, all of those things. But I had my own specific needs. And like a lot of women, well, you know, I've got arthritis or I've got pain in my back or whatever the case may be. In my case, it was breathing and sinus issues and lung issues. And I was introduced to a couple of the products that I started taking. And I can't even begin to tell you what a shock it was to my system, where I always had problems sleeping. Now, all of a sudden, I'd taken this product, and within probably a couple of days, I noticed a difference. I wasn't waking up, not being able to breathe, which was shocking to me. And I can only attribute it to the products that I used with the APL Go. The second was I had a lot of bone issues, poor bone density, all of those things, and a bit of arthritis and very weak bones. I was introduced to another product through APL Go, and I started taking it. And my little story, my backstory, if I can say it, Marianne, is that I was getting ready to go to an event. And actually, no, before that, I never wore heels because I had very weak ankles. I always wore flats. But on this particular occasion, about a year and a half ago, I was going to a big event and I wanted to buy some things new for myself, new dress, perhaps. And one of those things was I thought I'd get a new pair of shoes. So I was looking at all the flats, and then I came across a pair of heels. Fell in love with them, ladies. I can't even begin to tell you how it made me feel. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give them a shot, try it out. I'll take it to the event, see how long I can last. Maybe I'll last half an hour, an hour. So I put them on that morning. And it was one of those events, ladies, where you're up and you're down and you're walking and you're talking to people and you're constantly moving. Well, it was about mid-afternoon that day that a colleague, a coach, a mentor of mine, came up to me and told me how great I looked and how fantastic I looked in heels. And she had never seen me in heels before. It was at that moment I realized I was still wearing them and there was no pain. So if that's a testimonial to the products, that's it. I swear by them. I take them every day and I love them. And I love you too, Marianne, for introducing them to me. But, you know, we are all goddesses and we all need to first take care of ourselves because we can't help other people before that. And again, my passion is helping women in real estate, in finances, helping them figure out their budgets, how to improve their credit, all of those wonderful things that we have never been taught. And that's where I'll sign off from here on that. And wish you all a fantastic International Women's Day and hope you're all doing well. Take care.
Thank you so much, Rosemary. How important is it for us to be financially independent? Whether you're married or you're in a relationship, I mean, really, you should know your way around finances. This is like you should have a driver's license. You should have you should have some knowledge, some method, some anything. Rosemary and I also do the gold together because we both like gold. You know, she comes from a finance background. I used to be a mortgage agent before I became a real estate agent. So we both help women around real estate, around investing their money, around helping them get the money that they need to buy the real estate. Like there's all kinds. And I believe you do something else, Rosemary. Did you want to mention that? The administrative part.
I decided recently, thank you, Marianne, for reminding. Like I said, I've got so many hats, I can't even keep track of it sometimes. So I have to be very organized and methodical about my work. But I decided to take my business of in finances and whatnot, but I wanted to pivot that business and turn it into assisting companies, small businesses in their databases. So many companies and businesses, they're very transactional, and they've got a huge database of past clients that they sometimes never go after or never talk to or forget to talk to. And one of the things I learned in my mortgage business is if you're not top of mind, you're forgotten. So when people have come to me and said, you know what, I've got a question on my mortgages, they forget that once the transaction's over, that, why call me? Because why would I need you? But they do need me, and they do have questions. So what I've done is I've taken that and I've said, okay, I'm going to create a database management business where small businesses, companies, I can take care of their database, go and organize their past clients, and actually go and make calls to their database, to their partners, business partners, and actually try and put the business owner, in the front of their face and set up appointments, set up updates. I want to talk about what's going on now in my business, or how can I increase. I've got a gentleman now that does website design, and he's going back into his past clients and asking them if they want their websites redeveloped, recreated, get into some more social media on their websites. So there's growth that's there that people aren't thinking about when it comes to their businesses, and having someone that actually touches base with those clients and those past people, past customers, it makes such a big difference. I make calls and they go, oh yes, I do need that. Especially in the mortgage business, I call on behalf of other mortgage brokers, and I touch base with them and say, you know what, you're an important client to this broker, and we want to make sure that all your needs are met. And if you have any questions or anything happening, or maybe changes in your life too as well, that you want to have a conversation about. So then I set up appointments for the broker on those. So that's a little bit about what I do. Another one of those things I do. So thank you, Marianne, for reminding, because I forgot. That it's probably one of the biggest things right now in my business that's growing substantially. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosemary, and thank you for taking the time. I know you have to go to another appointment. Again, super busy day for us women, especially if you're a speaker or a leader in your industry. You are definitely busy today. And it's one of my favorite days in the world. I love it. I love that we get to go in and just empower a ton of women all at once, all in one day. So I hope you're all enjoying this. Thank you, Rosemary. And
thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, and have a great day. And with that, I bring you another amazing human being, another beautiful lady who is absolutely amazing. Her name is Tammy Williams, and she is ready and able and ready to speak. So another busy lady. So thank you again, Tammy, for joining us for International Women's Day. And I will let you take over my stage. Go for it.
Thanks so much. When you're saying beautiful in this, it could have been any one of us. So I didn't know whose name you were calling, because it's such a great place to be in such a collaborative space. And, I have to tell you, Marianne, people probably don't tell you this enough, but you really are an angel walking on earth, because what I know about you is that you do and give without expectation. You go above and beyond. I'm not even sure if you're a human. But I love you so much. And I know you can feel the love from many, many people. And, continued God's blessings to you, because if it wasn't for him, there would be no you. That's one thing for sure. So, this International Women's Day, I'm saying men's because I'm part of the advisor on that, but International Women's Day, it means so much to me for many reasons, because it really is every day. But I'm so happy that there is this space that you've created to acknowledge women all over the world. And the beautiful thing about this is that we get to see other people, see what they're doing, get inspired by them, get to cheer for them, and collaborate. Now, a little bit about me: I'm still that mom who, mama three, and I still make my husband's lunch, and I'm really proud and happy to say that. The space that I am in is in sales and marketing. I come from a publishing space where I used to sell advertising to people who didn't believe in advertising. So I took those same skills, not the revenue yet, it's coming, that I built up this other company for years, 10, 15 years, and turned that into a consultative kind of way for me to actually impart that with people. So I share everything to do with sales and marketing. And I love that Rosemary is reaching out to people. There's so much power in what she's doing. I often say, and I used to sell like big packages for companies, the real sale begins after the sale. And the real work begins after the work, because we know statistically it costs more time and energy and money to find a new client than it does to keep one. So I have taken my knowledge and helping out entrepreneurs and some medium-sized businesses. I've kind of little bit area into that area now, where I get to show them how their website is not just a yellow pages. I'm assessing websites for people and helping and showing them how they can monetize on their websites, and as well the importance and the cost effectiveness of email marketing. And I know people think, oh, email is dead. It's not dead. Like people say print is dead. It's not dead. If you have a strategy, something that's very strategic with your emails, just like Marianne, Rosemary is doing with phone calls, it does work and it's very effective. And so I like to tell people all the time that anyone who's an entrepreneur, you're in sales. You don't think you're in sales, but you're in sales. So all the different components with sales does involve making those calls. You have to make, nothing will happen without the call. But with this world that we're in, with Instagram, with Messenger, and WhatsApp, we have kind of lost the personalized touch. So I'm empowering to people on how they can personalize that. And just like we know clothing, there is no one size fits all. The same thing with the email, the same thing with Messenger, the same thing WhatsApp. And the thing is, people are talking. There's a group of people who are in the same group, and they say they got this message from that one, the same exact message. And meanwhile, the person has had a rough day. And some people share that on social media. So I'm trying to impart to people to take a look at someone's posts a little bit. Of course, you're talking to them on a regular basis, maybe every month. It might be okay. You might know what's going on, but sometimes people are showing you and sharing what's going on with them. Never to assume, because that happens to many of us. We post something about the weather, we post something, and people think, oh, Tammy, is everything okay? Everything is fine. I'm just letting people know that there's a positive to it. Like someone was talking about the snow. Oh my goodness, our snow has been terrible. And I posted a picture, Marianne, of a lady outside using a hair dryer to melt it. Did she care that it was snowing? No, it was the mindset and the approach that she took to the snow. So I'm helping people in that area a lot. I have an offer that I wanted to give people from coming to this, a nice sales guide that Deanne Ojar and myself have created. We have it for sale online, but I'm willing to offer that to anyone here. Just say that you're at Marianne's International Men's Day. You can reach out to Marianne for that or myself, and I can email you the PDF on that, absolutely no charge. And also to want to include a free website assessment. If you have a website, to assess your website, and I actually charge a couple $100 for that. And it has helped a lot of people because they have started to impart some of the monetization. And, I'm a big fan, and that's where I'm going to the APL Go. If you don't have an income, While you sleep, you need to get one. So that's the reason why the website is so important. Your own personal website, some free offering you have. Now, or something, a free offering, and then also something you can actually charge people, something like that. So going into the supplements, Marianne introduces me. I had no ailments, nothing wrong with me. You know, my mom had some ailments. I know for people. I'm going to try these things and see how I feel. Well, we're hooked. So I got a couple of my favorites here is SLD. This one here, not knowing that I had an issue, I know that it has reshaped my body. And I found out through the studies of APL Go that inflammation is a big part of that puffiness that people have, and also some of the pain. And, you know, Marianne, I don't know if I even told you this. The reason why this is so important for me to have this as something else to offer to people is because I'm the founder of Women Champagne and Real Estate, to show women, other women doing what they aspire to do, as well as there's some mentors and coaches in there that they can connect with. And I'm seeing so many women who have been running and chasing after wealth. And guess what they're doing? Have been neglecting their health. And I'm a big fan of to-do lists, but I can tell you, I echo what Rosemary said, nothing can get done without you on that list. And you should be on the top of that list. So that's why these here supplements made so much sense to me to incorporate that, because I know many people, 70 doors, 50 doors, you know, 1-2 Airbnbs, and coaching people, but they have forgotten about the quest for health. And so these here have been so convenient, and they taste delicious. I had a jar here of Skittles and Jubes. Well, my jar of Skittles is empty, and now they have these. So these two alone grow. I don't know if you guys can notice my hair. Mary, I have a nice bed of hair anyways, but I've had to cut it a couple of times now, and I believe it is definitely from GRW, which is big on boosting the immune system. It also has been an energy thing for us. Yeah. And I noticed just these two alone, a reduction of over 20 inches on my entire body, which was really shown in this area and then other areas. And then also too with the hair. I've cut my hair about 3 times now since taking these. And the other thing that has been a godsend too is this alt one to help with breathing. I've known my daughter has some allergic reactions to different things, and just popping one of these, just popping one of these, it's gone. It's gone. It's so much controllable now. So instead of popping all those pills, we've got the natural plant of a DNA, the negative ions, and once you get to understand that, you'll know that this is all good for us. There's nothing bad in here whatsoever. And you know, it's even better, Marianne. It doesn't matter how many I have. I know I'll use like one a day, but I'm popping them in just when I want a candy now, so I don't go to the sugar. And these here, I have to show this because these are the beautiful samples that APL Go does for us. So health and wealth go hand in hand. That's my ending, because of the spaces that we work in with people who have accumulated a lot of money and wealth, and they're doing some amazing things. I'm aspiring to get into that space of what they're doing as far as the real estate investing side of it. And so it's just so nice that I can have this for conversation to say, what is that you're doing for yourself that's going to help you with your legacy, and that you can continue to do, because many people are doing it not for selfish reasons, they're doing it for their families. So that's where I want to share that. And I want to just give you one thing at the end. There's a sales dictionary. I love this, Thomas Caldwell. And he has said here, everything comes down to sales. So people who are entrepreneurs, sometimes they forget that. You have some products, you have some services, you're into sales. And you know what? You're in the right place, because there's many people here will band with you and do the things that you don't like to do, and also do the things that you're not great at. My mom told me at a young age, buy my weaknesses and sell my strengths. So you're looking at someone who is a sales and marketing leader in many spaces, who can help you with whatever that challenge may be. And let's collaborate. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Tammy. Oh my gosh. And she talked about some of my favorites, the grow. So like, while Tammy has amazing hair, and now it's even more amazing, I don't. I have skinny hair. It's the only skinny part of me. So it's now much better thanks to a BTY, which I can't seem to find. So if anyone's got it, feel free to show it. But the Grow is also meant to actually boost your immune system with whatever the heck it is that's going around. I had a little bit of it just before I left for Dominican Republic. And I thought, oh my gosh, now I have to do this, and I'm going to have to go get antibiotics, and I'm going to have to go do this. No, I did everything with this. I probably took these about 3 times a day, if not more. This one, I can't eat, I 8 maybe times a day. I don't really know. They say you don't need to take more than 3, but I did because I had such a horribly sore throat, and it doesn't last long. And the fact that I didn't need antibiotics, which is my usual go-to, that I have, like, I'm 63 years old. I've been doing this for like 60 years with the antibiotics, if not more, almost. And my lungs, everything cleared up. So I used air. Air actually is meant to clean up your lungs. And so I used that one and Alt. And this one actually brings down your fever a little bit. I know that sounds crazy, but it does. I don't even know how it works. Don't even ask. And I was just like, wow, I did the whole thing in a week. I was ready to get on that plane. There was no coughing. There was no sniffling. There was no nothing. I loved it. Like, I love the fact that I don't need to use anything that is unreal, full of chemicals, full of any kind of, I don't need to go to the doctor. I didn't really have time. You know what it's like when you're an entrepreneur and you're going away. First of all, nobody ever pays for our stuff. So, thank you, APL Go, for paying for my stay in Dominican Republic. And not only that, I actually got a ocean view room, which I didn't think we were getting ocean view rooms, but it turns out I'm the only one. But I totally lucked out, so I did that as well, and it was so great. I did take some with me because I think it's important when you're traveling, something for your microbiome, keeping it balanced, and something that'll kill off parasites because you're drinking and eating all kinds of wonderful things. And so this one, not only do I use it a lot at home, it also helps. I find that when you couple that one up with the PFT, which is for weight loss, and it eats away at the visceral fat, I think these two together really do take down a lot of inflammation. And also the one that Tammy showed earlier, the SLD, if you add that one, I think these 3 are the magical ones that will help you to lose some weight. It'll help eat away at the visceral fat. If you don't know what visceral fat is, it's the fat around your middle. It's the one that wraps itself around your liver, around your organs, all of your organs, and it slows them all down, and it helps them to malfunction. So who wants their organs to work? Me. No malfunctioning, please. Like, enough. Things slow down when you get older anyways. So I use that to help me with that, and also to try to keep my weight down, which I pretty much have done my whole life. As I get older, I'm becoming a little bit more insulin resistant. I'm still not diabetic, and I plan on not being it. So between that, these two, keep blue in mind. These 2 help. So this one will help clear the liver out. It'll help balance it. It'll help it function better. And the NRM will actually bring down your blood sugar. Literally, like, take it and watch it go down. Like, measure it. If you don't believe me, it works really great. And if you need some extra energy, right, Amanda? Isn't this one of your favorites? This one, maybe I should let her talk about it, but you can substitute this one for Red Bull, or I probably shouldn't say anything, but go for it, Amanda.
So one of my great experiences I've had with the product personally is I used to, because I'm a mom, I was starting a business, getting back into the workforce. My energy was depleted quite often, because that happens with us ladies. We run ourselves a little too much, but I got hooked on energy drinks, and I knew it was terrible for you. And Marianne introduced me to the products originally for the energy drinks. And so I was able to come off them with the GTS and the STP. And I would take those interchangeably. And basically, with the GTS, I wasn't getting the cravings for the caffeine anymore. And I was feeling more energized and able to do a lot more. Because my days start very early, like most people, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And then you're going till 9, 10 o'clock at night. So, and then you get that brain fog in the afternoon usually. And that's why I was using the caffeine. But the other thing I just started doing and adding in is the BRN, the brain. And this one is good for cognitive. So I've been also taking this one in the afternoon because it just helps with your cognitive functioning overall, concentrating, and it's just like helps you with mental performance. So when you're getting that afternoon fatigue, I've found with these products, the BRN and the GTS were great, great replacements for those unhealthy, high caffeinated drinks. So I've been able to, with these products, make better choices in my health and still, meet the needs of my busy routine and schedule. And I think for most women, in general, as you age, your body starts changing, things start going, one way or the other. And the other product that I just want to mention here quickly is the Power Apricot. And that one really helped me because, as you know, as women, when you have children or you're reaching different ages, different things are happening with your body, things get unregulated. So for me, the experience was basically I was having night sweats. I was having issues with my hair, just thinning and coming out. There was just different things happening hormonally for me. And so with the Power Apricot, taking that one every day, I didn't get the night sweats anymore. I felt more balanced and my hair is not falling out. It's growing everywhere. So I think that has helped me a lot. Those products have really helped me. I love all of the products, but those ones that I've mentioned, they seem to work really good for me and I've had awesome results with them.
Yeah. And you mentioned the apricot. So I do want to mention the lemon, which is the one that will help you balance testosterone because we all have both men and women have testosterone and estrogen. So for this one, I am going to attribute a lot of not getting up in the middle of the night for me. So as you reach a certain age and you're in menopause, you tend to have to get up to go to the bathroom frequently throughout the night, also depending on how much water you drink before you go to sleep. But this actually helped me to strengthen my kidneys and my bladder. And I no longer go 5-6 times a night. I go maybe once or nothing. It just depends. And before we even close off, I really need to mention this particular product. And also our necklaces, which is the pendant, which is full of, inside of this little device is quartz crystal and volcanic ash from Japan. So this will help you to balance anything. So it is probably going to be impossible for you to be allergic to this product. But if something should happen that you absolutely cannot, this for sure will help. You can hold this in your pocket if you have a reaction on, to your skin or anything like that. You can have it close to you. You can do whatever you want. But this one here, this one combined with the brain. Did somebody just show brain a little while ago? The brainy one. Oh, bad picture. Yes, almost. You can't see it very clear, but it is the BRN one. I'm having some great results with these for people who have dementia. It's really helping them get a clarity moment. It's not going to keep your dementia from coming. You've already got it, but it will help to prolong it. It'll help you give you some focus and clarity. This particular one is a stem cell regenerator, with a telomere extender. If y'all don't know what telomeres are, they're the little nerve endings at the end of your nerve. So you know how you have shoelaces and then you have that little plastic thing? They're kind of like that for our nerves. And the stem cell, I don't think I need to say much about stem cell regeneration. It's the hottest thing right now. Everyone's talking about it. This all comes in a wonderful little candy that tastes really great and is very convenient to carry. And anyone can take it, because if you can't suck on it and if you can't have it in your mouth for whatever reason, you can actually put this into a glass of room temperature water and it will dissolve and you can drink it if there's no other way of you taking it. So there's no pill swallowing. There's no forcing. I give these to my dog and he loves it. I know I don't have any kids, but a lot of my friends give it to their kids. They absolutely love it. I mean, what kid doesn't want a candy? Like, come on. What kid isn't going to take a candy? Like, that's just crazy. All you people with kids, tell us how easy it is to give this to them. And even my dog, at first I thought, oh, he's not going to, I put it into his mouth, he spit it out. This was like this, this isn't the only time we've ever had to do this. Put it into his mouth, he spits it out. Put it into his mouth, he spits it out. Finally, he keeps it. And I'm like, there we go. Now we're all good. Now I put it in his mouth and he actually swallows it, which is so great. So anyways, you can also do it in glass of water. And this particular business, this particular company, I've been in MLMs and I'm still in a few different MLMs, has the best compensation package at 63% payout, which is unheard of. So if you want to know more, feel free to connect with any one of these ladies who are doing this, and connect with me and I will connect you. Whoever it is that you feel drawn to, that's who you should do business with. And if you prefer one of the other ladies, I'm happy to give some extra information. The skincare line is not yet available in Canada, but it is available in the US. So you can get this wonderful chemical-free skincare product that is packaged in glass bottles made in Venice. So it's Venetian glass, which, if you know anything about glass, Venetian glass is literally the best in the entire world. So with that, I do have to bring this to a close because I have to go speak at some other events. And I want to thank all of my beautiful speakers. And I want to thank everyone who's commented below and anyone who has benefited from this. Send us some more love and comments. Tell us what you thought. This was great. Thank you all, ladies, so much. And we love all of you. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you.